Alrighty, so welcome to game number 1, but it is potentially game number 1 of 3 to determine the first win here. We have Ozone playing as the Hindustanis for Team Condor and Eagelos. Ozone is teamed with El Matador, and Ozone is teamed with Running. And we have Dark for Team Fox here. They are very close together. We've got the Portuguese for Dark, and we've got the Hindustanis here for Ozone. Interesting choice. I was not expecting Hindustanis. They had Spanish number 1 in their draft, so I thought that maybe they would go Spanish here. Maybe they wanted a certain matchup. Oh, look at the butterflies here. Cool butterflies. Again, to determine the first win in this team game tournament, it's actually 3 separate 1v1s. So Ozone will play a 1v1. Matador and Running will play 1v1s. The only way we don't see the third 1v1 is if the same team wins the 2 1v1s, because it's best of 3 essentially. I thought the 1v1s were going to be parallel and happening at the same time, but the previous series didn't happen that way, so I think we may get to see each one. But it is still a best of 5 here. Map is called Limpopo. Obviously, they start with walls. They've got ostrich in the walls. They've got berries. They've got gold. They've got stone. But they don't really have wood. So the wood is on the outside. I wonder if Dark goes for a no wood build order and just takes the berries and the straggler trees. Nope, doesn't look like it. So the wood will be exposed. I didn't put small trees on, by the way, but I think it's fine. We can maybe change that in between games. When I think Portuguese is we have Dark trying to bring in a Rhino from long distance here and using the quick walls. When I think Portuguese, I think castle drop on a closed map. I think it would make a lot of sense. Rhino gets let through the gates. The only thing Dark has to be careful with here is how many arrows he shoots it with the TC, because he shot it a couple times there. Yep, and that's why he didn't do the second volley. Good work. Good work. But yeah, Hindustanis, cheap vills, great camels, good on open maps. On closed maps, they're great in the later stages of the game. And, oh, the water aspect. Okay. Yeah, there's enough deep fish out here. I could see how players want to do this. I think Ozone doesn't know that there's a deep fish there. I think you can actually dock off that, which would have been ideal. But Ozone's going to drop the dock there. And I think Dark would probably want to do the same. But Dark only has 3 on wood. So Dark will not go for the water approach. Yeah, I wonder... Humans was pick number 1 for Fox. And then it was Spanish is pick number 1 for the Condor and Eagelos team. I gotta say... really long team name to pronounce for a team that's never been together before. But I like the creativity of the name, because I think the reasoning for it is you have Ozone from Colombia would be the eagle, and then I guess the Condors would be it would be the 2 Germans, Matador and Running. Dark, most likely going to drop a castle here. Oh, wait, no. There's this Condor, and you get... Are Condors from Colombia? I don't know. Actually, not a big bird guy. Eagles are kind of from all over the world. I don't really know about Condors. Wouldn't Germans be the Eagles? I think they are the Eagles, yes. Condors from South America. Okay, got it. Just testing you guys, of course. I think that's more so not because there's lots of eagles in Germany, but that's more so because of eagles being associated with Germany. Yeah. Wow, so Dark is up fast enough where this looks like a feudal age build. He attacked the fishing ships there. And there's a weak villager from before for Ozone because he didn't have Loom against a lion. And here there's a villager with no Loom. Dark is going to aim to quick wall that. I think Ozone is expecting his opponent to go FC here. Because that's what I expected. I think that's a natural move, and he's also going to do the same. It's kind of difficult for Fox, for Dark rather, to really get any like early damage in here with this build. I like what Ozone's done here. Everything's looking pretty clean. Feels like adding some fish in the corner is really smart. It's going to be tough for anyone to really disrupt that. Dark would have to walk all the way over here, drop a dock, which is actually on a hill. That's pretty cool. Yo, that's pretty sick. Yeah, and then send some ships that direction, but that would be a long walk, right? I think Ozone's about to be very confused. He doesn't see a dock, and now he sees Dark is in feudal age. So my brain would be thinking, there's no way he's getting to a castle this fast, right? Here comes a Vil. It's going to be sneak archers. Oh, Ozone, get loom, bro. Get loom, dude. He didn't get loom. Oh, crap. Again, background. Played previous 3v3 tournament with Ozone and Matador. Couldn't play for this one. They brought in Running. Running would be a great addition. But I've got a little bit of bias here. I want to see this team do well. I also really want to see Fox do well. They've got some incredible players. It's tough for Ozone right now. He didn't see a barracks on the outside. He didn't see a dock. I think no dock should tell you something. Oh, God, I can't see the barracks. Ozone, get loom. You have to get loom. Don't you dare skip loom here, dude. The scout's also being attacked. Oh, and he's going to lose his scout. Yikes! Res Collected is amazing. Like, as long as he gets loom, he could drop a tower here. But no loom means he could lose Vils. Here comes the first archer and the villagers here. No loom means these things take a lot of damage. Honestly, as long as he queues loom right now, this could be okay. Does he realize he doesn't have loom? Like, if Dark waited for multiple archers, Ozone's whole wood line is dead. He's queuing loom. Oh, God. He's going to drop a tower. Loom's still 15 seconds away. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, man. If only he would have clicked loom. These Vils die so fast. And his fast castle's disrupted as well. He's going to try and get his buildings down. He's lost 4 villagers here. It's going to be more than that. And it's going to be more than that. He might lose everyone. These archers have fletching. What a build from Dark. And poor Ozone is gonna... Oh! Oh, that could have been so much worse, actually. He could have lost every single one. And now he's on the way to Castle Age. Okay, I believe it'll be in Castle Age. Oh, God, there's going to be a dock killing his fish, too. Oh, man. Wow, what a cool build from Dark, though. Because I think what happens, it's all mind game. Because everyone assumes the Portuguese player will drop the castle. Instead, he punishes the wood line, and he punishes the water. And then adds his own fish behind. This is a really sick build. Dark's killed 6 Vils. And Ozone can't really afford to defend everything. Does know about this. But then Portuguese have more HP on their ships too, so. I think Ozone from here is going to add some scouts. And try and snipe some of the archers. And probably try and boom. But after you drop the tower, you can't afford the second TC. And fishing ships going down is going to be a painful situation here too. Yeah, I don't think you can dock block here. I think the ships can actually pass over some of this sand terrain. Yeah. It's like watery sand. You can go over it. And Ozone will just give up the fish. Ozone scouts. Seems like he's trying to hide that he has them. They know that there is a target here. Listen, if he gets the light cav upgrade and hits this area, he could kill 5 eco. And Dark's still being a nerd over here. I think his archer actually killed an extra villager. You gotta wait for light cav, and then you go in here, Ozone. Otherwise, I make the throw zone joke. I don't want to make that joke. Wait for light cav first, please, sir. Wait for Lightcap first. Okay, this is still fine. This is still fine. We got 15 seconds. He gets the hill. He gets in. Dark was not expecting this. Dark has not reacted immediately. The Lightcap upgrade will come in. And 1 villager down. 2 villagers down. 3 villagers down. It's going to be all these villagers going down. And Ozone is still in this game. He might not have his fish eco anymore. But he's got cheap villagers. He's in Castle Age. And that was a beautiful, beautiful find. You know, I probably would have sent a scout here to clean this up. But then the opponent would have known that I had a stable. And they would have prepped some form of defense for the potential scouts. So, well played. Dark is on the way to Castle Age still. Dark is now going on to Stone, which is what we thought he would do originally. And he was able to wall this up. It's not the most comfortable wall ever. But you've just got to keep these villagers alive. These are Hindustani Lightcap too. They do destroy buildings very quickly. So if he continues to attack that lumber camp, it could potentially go down. Dark still 4 fishing ships fishing away, which is super smooth. His resources collected is way higher. And Ozone just trying to stabilize. I mean, just now getting some critical eco upgrades. If he didn't find that damage, this game would be over. He's found the damage, and it still is going to be rather complicated if a castle comes up. I don't know if the second TC is necessarily the immediate play. He needed counter damage and eco upgrades first. Now he's scouting around the map, hoping to see what Dark is up to. Lightcav checking the shoreline. Didn't actually see the dock here. I think he's going to see it because he's bringing a Vill. This might be for a siege workshop, though. And still no castle yet for Dark. That archer's been a real pest, but the archer goes down. We got 37 pop versus 35. Ozone with the population lead and the Lightcap breaking through the house. The villager sees the dock, but Dark sees the Vill. Really cool map and really interesting game. There's the castle from Dark. So, in order to counter the organs, you would want to mix in siege. Big moment, by the way. That's 3 Vills repairing. It's still going down. You need a 4th Vill here, Dark. Ozone? Ozone? Oh! Dark tries to get a panic stonewall. And I don't know exactly what just happened, but I guess the villagers were blocking the path and 1 villager goes down. Woof. Yeah, organ guns need to get over here fast for Dark. And Dark doesn't deny the dock, but does kind of protect that area for now. Hindustani, Hindustani Lightcav, just any stable unit's just insane. And Ozone's caught up here. The house goes down and he gets in. He'll kill all of these Vills. He'll be ahead in villagers. Dark needs to quickly drop some stone walls. Dicey moments. There's still a hole. And the Lightcav are through. There was a hole on the other side. And disaster for Dark. Disaster for Dark. Ozone is through. What a mess. What an absolute disaster for Dark. Oh my goodness. And when the game looked horrible for Ozone and amazing for Dark, Ozone has kept up the production. And he's now at 34 eco against the 30 from Dark. Beautiful play. Now, this game isn't finished yet. Because we have Lightcap from Dark. And Ozone is aware of that. And he's now going to drop a whole bunch of houses to try and plug this up. Now, Ozone still has a fire galley too. He's going to try and weaken this fire galley so we can use his other one. That's super good. He's going to kill it. To get those house walls down and now drop a tower, it's really important. There's monks inside the walls for Ozone. They might be the answer to any organs, but he needs redemption first. And now the fish for Dark and the dock will actually go down. So now Dark's got to chop these reeds here. Reeds only have 50 wood on them. Having to lumber camp reeds is insane. And I didn't have market events turned on. I'm so sorry. But that's like a really big deal in the 1v1s at least. I sometimes have them off for 3v3 team games because everyone's using it. It can get annoying. Honestly, If he gets enough upgrades, he could also just kill the organ gun numbers with the light cav. Bloodlines would be needed, so you have the HP. I don't know if Ozone is going to get enough gold income to be able to get to the redemption upgrade. Villagers stuck on the mining camp. I really hope they fix that bug. Double tower here will help. Someone's saying, why no halbs or skirms on this? Well, skirms wouldn't help anybody anywhere here. Halbs, very... I mean, pikeman is very slow. It costs lots of food. Neither... They don't really have the food right now. I think the lack of speed is the main issue. Beyond everything else. Organ guns also can handle the light cav with numbers. You start mixing in some pikemen. That's just a whole nother unit type you need. It's a really hard map to play. And it's produced a really nice game here. I think Ozone wants a castle, kind of like... Maybe near the wood line. Or maybe he wants a TC for now. Oh, God, what a TC. Can you not build one here because of the hay? Who put the hay there? Whoever scripted this, you're the worst. That's so annoying. It's like it was made to deny a TC spot. The hills, too. Definitely are going to see Dark go for a push here. Light cav organ guns should be better than just mainly light cav. Again, it's 3 separate 1v1s that determine the first win. I love the army comp for Dark. I think Ozone's has potential too. Wouldn't actually mind him mixing in some siege here. You have to get some big hits on the organs. It feels like the organs are just going to be so strong here. That or you need enough monks to convert them, but relying on monks when there's light cav is complicated. There's really not a lot of gold in this map. There's only 21k gold on this map. And it's all spread out in the different spots. Ozone's got more here and more here. Ozone also just casually building houses over here is funny. Also, building houses right next to the pillar looks like it was meant to be. That's cool. I think the pillar is part of the map. Ozone is getting redemption for those monks. He starts an engagement there against the light cav. Dark sees all this because of his range. And Dark is going to want to kill those monks. Ozone should garrison. He does. Also garrisons the vills. And the monks actually stayed alive there. But, man, if you lose those monks, good luck getting more of them. Dark, 42 vills. He stayed in this. Still has more res collected. Has been mining a lot of gold. He'll have to leave his base soon. He's going to leave his base for stone as well. Why light cav instead of camels? I mean, before light cav do a better job at raiding than camels do. Now, you could maybe consider a couple camels, but I don't think 1 or 2 camels changes the situation much. It's still not a good answer to the organs. That's my concern. You could make knights, then you have a bit more HP to work with. But yeah, a camel or 2 mixed in could potentially be helpful. You wouldn't want to make camels if Dark hit any monks, though. Because he would just focus at your camel with the conversion and then have one against you. You pay attention to the food income. It's not great for either right now. And Dark is going to swoop in to kill those monks. And Ozone's hoping to get conversions. He actually gets 2 conversions. That's not bad. But I think he really just needed a mangonel, and he's going to be patient for that. So Monk's mangonel is also light cav for Ozone. Who's, like, quickly running out of gold. Dark second TC. A lot of people complimenting the map. I will say this. From a player's perspective, not a great map. Because it's really difficult, right? From a viewer's perspective, we're okay with there being holes in wood lines, and we're okay with massive punishing hills and all that. Dark will be like, I should have won this game. So many organs. And they shred groups. Like, their inaccuracy, which was the quote-unquote balance change, made them stronger. They will shred a group, even if you do spread formation. And Ozone has every right in the world to be scared of this. And this TC is now going to be on the way up. Oh, man, guys. Oh, man. Ozone. Careful. Okay, so he needs to use his Lycav against the Lycav, and then the Siege can hop out on the right. He could be fine. He's got cheap Vils. You can replace him anyways. That's what you think here. Little sad. But that's where your brain should go. Look at these organs. They're so good. Oh, man. It's such a crazy unit, dude. This castle's only at 35%. Dark knows now that if he just holds this position, he wins. He does not need to take any risks or leave. He just needs to wait for that Mangonel. Ozone knows he needs to complete this castle. Dark had a beautiful opening. Ozone did a great job bringing it back. Dark's got to be careful, though. Like, without the Lightcap buffer, the Mangonels can smash all these organs. And Ozone's healing up his Lightcap again. He's mixing in a few more. He's always ready to hop out with Vils to finish this castle. Dark 3 TCs behind this, though. So it's not as if he's all in. He actually will gain an eco lead on top of all this aggression. Lycav gets one shot. It's going to be 3 Mangonels. Ozone's going to have to go for this soon. He's going to lose the foundation. And here comes Dark with his own castle. Holy crap. Okay, you have to go now if you're Ozone. You have to go now. You have to complete your castle. Mangonels hop out. Ooh, Dark's castle could be denied. Lycav loop around to try against the Siege. The attack round from Ozone. And Ozone is going to have Mangonels against organs. He's going to have the Lycav too. Dark's organ guns are getting flattened. And then his Vils have to leave the castle foundation. Ozone with crazy patience, guys. So many people just are like, I got to get the castle up. And they force it. And they lose everything. But crazy stuff from the Colombian. Now Dark doesn't have enough stone for a castle immediately to defend himself from this. And here comes Ozone. And it's panic time for Dark. The monks could still convert the organs, remember? The Mangonels are a huge answer here. And Ozone advances forward with confidence. And Dark is reeling from this. Dark almost seems like he can't believe it. When he placed that castle foundation, he probably thought, this is it. I've denied his castle, and I'll have my own. GG. Ozone's unit control is so good. His macro is super smooth behind it. He's an incredible talent, man. That organ gun needs to be converted. Gets blocked and actually gets deleted. And TC from Dark will go down. Dark seems a little stunned on what to do. He's going to try and go for his own Lycav. But he doesn't exactly have the food eco for it if he's losing all of this. That's 9 farms. The other eco is here. More food eco back here. Now, food eco for Ozone also isn't great, so he's going to have to fix that. And in those moments, you look away once and you can lose your army still. But he's just being patient. Sitting next to his Siege and his monks. We use his own Lycav as a buffer here. And he will lose most of his monks. That's a really good engagement for Dark if you consider the cost of those monks. But the organ guns got converted too. The Siege is still alive. A lot of Vils went down for Dark. And Dark's organ guns! Huh! Wow, that's sick micro from Dark. What just happened? What just happened? What in the world? He didn't lose that group of organs to any of the Mangonels. He sniped all the monks. He sniped all the Mangonels. 90 population for both. The KD is dead even. Man, what a game. Again, is it the map? Is it the players? Is it a combination of everything? Probably all of it. Crazy game. This might actually go imp. And if it goes imp, it gets really fascinating too, because there's only 13,000 gold remaining. I think from here, we actually favor Dark, because Dark has Organ Gun Lycav. And that mass from Organ Gun is going to... from Organ Gun, sorry. That mass from Ozone is going to be hard for him to get back to. That was a lot of monks. He sunk a lot of gold into the upgrades. And that was a lot of siege. And he's got 6 on gold right now. There are some relics that you have to walk awkwardly to in the water terrain. Also, Ozone does have ships here too, which is kind of interesting little side note. 35 on food for both. They've just shot up with food eco after that fight. And that's good for Ozone. Converts an organ, then kills an organ with it. Obviously, I think it's just going to be light cap from both right now. I like Ozone's eco setup with the wood. Like, I think if he can get all of his farming eco cramped behind this castle, that's really nice. Dark doesn't have anything protecting this area from raids. And if this is a light cap heavy game, like, that's where some camels from the Hindustanis could be helpful. Obviously, not good against the organs still, but I think right now Ozone could go for, like, 3-4 stable light cap spam. Either that or Imp. It seems like Dark is the one who's actually really staying in Castle Age. There's also a ship here from Dark. Would be funny if both players had cannon galleons in the other person's river later on. Something you'll see Ozone do is outpost the map when he's got some control. He does it more than... He does it more than other pros do. I think he does it, in this case, with too many vills. But he does it to a level that other players need to do, in my opinion. We'll probably see it from Dark as well. Is our title not updated, chat? Title should be updated. Hopefully mods could help there if it's not. Nice kills throw from Dark. And, you know, he's still going to have an issue advancing past his TC. Oh, it got updated now because the mods got called out. Okay, cool. So I'm just going to make a statement, which is unimportant to how this game plays out. You ready? I hate organ guns. I'm sure the devs do as well because it's such a balanced nightmare. They've made so many changes to this unit since it was initially introduced. It's just like the way they've tried to fix this unit is not good. The combination of it being with a Civ that has a discount on every gold unit and such good options otherwise is a nightmare. I'm feeling for Ozone right now because this unit is so annoying and he just simply has to try and avoid it half the time. But he's still holding. And he is on the way to Imp. But again, it is organs that are the problem. Dark runs into some siege he hasn't seen in a while, though. And so nice patience there from Ozone. 103 vills. 35 on food. Dark up to 60 on food. How much of that is villagers on berries, though? Not much. He's got crazy farming eco right now. So Dark actually has no gold right now. Dark has no gold income, so he can't go Imp. Ooh. I mean, if Ozone has gold and can get upgrades, which he doesn't really have, he's really far behind on upgrades right now. But just upgrades on the light cav, he does to get the better light cav line with the Hussar upgrade being available. And even though organ guns are killing when they take engagements, it's still a gold unit. Also, we could see Portuguese Feitoria later on a map with low gold. Only 10k gold remaining now. There's more stables for Ozone. Really like to see some more upgrades, like we said, right? Numbers are key. But Dark went for +2 armor and forging. So Dark's winning the light cap battles pretty convincingly. He's going to run underneath TCs like this. Like, he's got no problems doing that. Dark with so much control here. I think Ozone probably thinks he has a couple more upgrades and will check his blacksmith when he hits Imp to get Imp upgrades and be like, oh, I don't have Imp upgrades. That makes sense now. TC on the back will go up. Dark is just everywhere. Every single side. And now Dark clicks up to Imp. And Ozone is struggling to keep up with this now. So many monks have gone down. Because he needs an answer. He's trying to do anything he can against those organs. First thing he does do actually is Hussar. He will have 12 Hussars then. I'd like to see fletching, maybe ballistics eventually for the castles and TCs. Fletching, at the very least, is necessary for the TCs. Oh, man, Dark is finding so many raids. Dark is at 140 villagers. Dark just keeps running through. He doesn't care, guys. Ozone finally is going to raid on the left side. Now, again, there's no castle here. So if these Hussars split up, Dark will lose a lot of villagers. So I know it looks bad for Ozone, but it's kind of similar to before in the earlier stages where he insisted on raiding, even though he was still taking damage from the archers. This is a crazy find. Now, he still has to focus on it, and those units are on stand grounds, but he notices, spreads them out, patrols in, splits them up. Dark's still a minute away from him. Ozone still has cheap vills to recover. He now has Hussars that could come over here to deal with this. And the Hussars are going to spread their wings. They're going to fly right in. And they are going to do some real damage here to Dark. Armor finally on the way for Ozone. Just Lycav everywhere. Yeah, it's the wood that's actually the big thing here. Like, controlling this area is so important. And then likewise for Dark and this area. Ozone just 8 Lycav. Or 8 Hussars. Dark has 33 Lycav on the map. With 10 more in queue. And he says, who cares if I don't have Hussar? I can just make Lycav. He's so many. I also wouldn't hate Cavalier. It's likely Ozone doesn't have the gold to go for camels. You already have the Cav tech. I think Cavalier would be perfect. And guys, I think this might be the end. Dark is at 200 pop. Ozone's pop is at 130. He's still trying to stabilize, and he's not going to have the time. This group of Lycav cannot be dealt with, and the GG's called. What a game. What a game. Beautiful play. Honestly, I thought Ozone was really dead. And I think Ozone should have been really dead if it wasn't for that great counterattack and find with the Lycav and the breakthrough with the Lycav. I think this is a better matchup for the Portuguese. I think it was a better start for the Portuguese. All those things considered, I think Ozone can at least be happy with how he played. It was a really fun one to watch. But Dark gets the win. Now, the way this tournament's formatted is we'll have another 1v1 from a player of each team. And then if the Fox player wins, they get the first point. If Ozone's team wins, then we go to a third 1v1 to determine the first point. So, and listen, people are going to say, like, came down to upgrades. You just got to remember that Ozone, now, I agree, he needed upgrades, but Ozone was always reacting to raids, spamming vills and spamming units. There's probably a lot of moments where he didn't really have the resources to get upgrade. Okay, he had the resources for the first armor upgrade. But beyond that, he didn't really have the gold for like the other upgrades. And he was just reacting. So I think when you're reacting like that, it makes sense that you're going to fall behind in initiative. I just thought he was dead when his castle got denied. And then like Dark did a great job to defend from that push. And that, from there, I think is when Dark really just shot up with TCs spamming everywhere. Dark loves to do that. Dark will go all in Castle Age a lot. 5, 6, 7 TCs. A lot of players won't do that these days. Yeah, Dark also had really good eco upgrades. Actually, what I want to show you, sorry, I got to make sure we see this. There's the KD for you there, right? Also, the Army High is a big one, but look at the difference in res collected. Dark had more of every resource. And it's funny because it looked like he didn't have gold, like he didn't have gold to go imp, but clearly he collected more gold in the game and he was just spending it, right? So, good stuff. All right. So it's a nomad start. This is quite possibly the ugliest map that one might see in this tournament. That's just my opinion. There's not a lot on the map, okay? It's all desert. But the big thing to remember is these piles of wood have 10,000 wood per pile, okay? Yeah, glad we got small trees for this. It's a nomad start. Now, running, both players were actually looking for a pile of wood, and running could not find one anywhere. It's really unfortunate for him, actually. And he walks to the north, builds his TC there. Both players also start with a mule cart. and can use the mule cart like the Armenians or Georgians could, but you can't make more. Now, here's a couple other things, okay? You can eat the camels. Not your scouting camel. That's not something you can eat. That would be cannibalism. But if you eat these camels, that's completely fine. It's 140 food per camel. You also have the ibex, of course, which you could normally eat. You've got lots of goats around. And then I don't think there's any boars. Now, there's also Gaia armies that protect the tents, and they will attack you. So you have to actually avoid these. This is actually pretty epic. Was this intentional to have the noose right next to the relic? Is it like that over here too? Oh, that's cool. I didn't notice that last time. So yeah. Last time we saw this, it was Hindustanis versus Byzantines, and I knew Byzantines would go skirms and spears. And so I said that I think it should be fast castle all-in unique unit. I don't see another reason for running to pick Bohemians here. I think he goes fast castle. He's got lots of goats underneath his TC. He's going to have his camels. He's going to have his deer. The stone is kind of on the back. I think this is like a Phosphorus style fast castle. And then Mihai's probably going to go scout opening with Chinese because their eco's insane. If you don't go for fast castle with Bohemians, I don't see a big reason to pick them. And at least Chinese in a standard approach, starting with the extra vills, are just so good. And I think they're too good. So you have to go for something extreme here if you're running. Not to mention Mihai, the better overall standard player on a really open map, and this is really open. So, 1890, I have a question. I have a very hard 7v1 hardcore AI mode. Is there any way that we can play this on Steam? Okay, you said Steam, which is where people buy the game. That's a client. I think you meant to say stream. Oh god, careful here, running. Running just ran into the Gaia army. I don't know what the mode is. I would submit it in script chat in my Discord, and then if people are like, well, that looks really cool, it's possible. That's what I would suggest. Thanks for asking. Ooh, is Mihai gonna... Okay, so this is... I forgot to talk about this. This is a pile of food. It's not really a pile. Okay, can we be more accurate? It's more like an assortment of food. You've got lots of options here. Also, how is this 125 food, but a berry bush, which you have to pick, is 150? Really, I feel like this should be like 500 food. But, okay. That's cool. We got some nice variety here. I'd love to show you other things on the map, but that's pretty much it. It is funny, though, to see that there's 300,000 wood on this map. It's just because of the piles. So, it's a very weird map. But let's see if I'm correct. Let's see if running will try a fast castle. I think he will. And I think if he wanted to try a fast castle, he probably wanted to be kind of close to Mihai. Now, if that's what we're going to see here, and if it's not, we're going to have to backtrack and talk about whatever he does do. But I'm pretty confident he tries it. I've covered this in a couple of my Phosphorus videos when Phosphorus was going for the fast castle wagons. Okay, and there was a balance change pretty much because of Phosphorus shenanigans. Melee units now do a bit of a better job against these wagons. Now, wagons are really hard to kill with archers. The wagons are really hard to kill with, like, knights, which, to my knowledge, is... Or, sorry, it's very hard to kill with archers. It's not so hard to kill with something like knights. But if you go feudal age in Mihai's position, you're going for the investment approach, lots of farms, scout build, yada yada. So I think that, like, the way to counter it is all-in scouts. You never go castle, and you go for, like, yeah, just like 3, 4, 5 stables, never leave feudal age. There's no way running tries fast castle boom, right? He's on gold right now. I don't know. He can just move. He can get the gold to go castle, and then he can move the mule cart to the stone. So this doesn't tell us everything. With the mule cart, it actually makes it a lot more viable. And Mihai, he has to know it's something crazy. Bohemians for this map has to be something crazy, right? He's going to be up so fast here. With 300 more resources collected. Clean eco and also Chinese here, right? The scout's still scouting around. The scout's name is Yusuf. Is that the word camel in another language, or is that just the name of the camel? Yusuf. There's also an elephant in this freaking tournament named Tristan, which is my name. So I don't know who made that map, but why couldn't you make me a camel? Is that a fat joke? Like, what's going on? I know Tristan is actually a hero in the game, and it's a Magyar Hussar. So I don't know where they got Tristan the elephant. But there go the villagers to stone. And this is going to be an attempted castle. And here come the scouts now from Mihai. It's just an Arabic name, I'm being told. Now, hold on. Mihai with a Vil. Probably wants to deny that stone. Can running click up? Yeah, this is a phosphor build. He's going to drop a tower, though. He's light on food. Oof. Ah, man. I don't know if he has the res for this. It feels like he needed an extra goat or two. Because remember, you have no boars. Like a normal game. He knows the stone needs to be protected. There's the market. The blacksmith is only 50 wood. So we can get that soon. He's going to need to buy some food. Mihai wants to sneak an archer range or a tower here, I think. Wow, there's the tower. In theory, running could just kind of leave and go to this stone, but then the scouts are out, right? And that tower can't be seen! Tower can't be seen! That's crazy. That is a perfect tower. Because if you place it closer... It should range some of the vills as well. Now, let's see if Mihai knows. Again, the way you stop this, guys, you just stay in feudal. Don't try and go castle against the wagons. Against other things, do what you want, but running, buying food, using the market, clicks up. Okay. Remember, he'll never run out of wood because there's thousands there. Running's up. Tower goes up. And now we'll disrupt some of the miners. Not all of them, though. So, I actually don't know if it's a perfect tower. There's also only 350 stone here. So, he will need to buy some stone then. Yeah, you can't rush this tower down if the scouts are out. Yeah, if I were Mihai, I would send enough to gold to plan on getting bloodlines. And I would build a blacksmith and plan on getting armor. And you just stay in feudal. Because your economy is going to be so superior. Right? Running's economy is not getting much better than this. You could lose many scouts and still be okay as long as you kill those wagons. I think that's what Mihai is going to recognize. And if Mihai recognizes that, I think this strategy is going to look kind of pathetic. Where do you get safe gold? Yeah, that's a good point. You probably build a castle somewhere near the gold. So, Mihai should be looking near the golds here. I think this would be the castle spot. Obviously, out here is nice, but that's pretty far. I think you just camp the gold. We might see the castle, like, right next to the TC fire, but close enough to the gold to still maybe be able to take it. Or you hope that your first wagon, if you can afford one, can clear up your gold. But yeah, full upgrades from Mihai. Mihai is playing this perfectly. And there's the castle from running. I think that's the best case castle. Because Mihai knows you need to take gold. Mihai will not let you get a castle up over here. He's checking here, though. Wow, he actually kind of... If running would have taken the risk and gone out further, he would have gotten it up. Mihai has guessed incorrectly. Mihai's paranoid right now. But yeah, running won't be able to afford his first wagon. I don't know how much gold they cost, but he can just sell some wood. Castle's gonna go up. Again, like, Mihai might think, holy crap, he's actually got the castle up. I need to go Castle Age. I actually don't think you need to. I think you could stay feudal. Because the res collected is just growing and growing and growing for Mihai. Now, here's the... This is well played from running, actually. Really well played to get to the gold, because he walls it in, too. Okay, so, here's where... Oh, God, Mihai, don't attack the Gaia units, bro. This is not the enemy. So, what's kind of interesting is, if running senses an all-in feudal, he might just wait until he gets, you know, more organs. Or not organs, sorry, wagons. But your tendency here is to want to push and do damage. Because you know your opponent's eco is only getting better than yours. Let's see. And they do a lot of damage. But they receive a lot of damage. Double stable here for Mihai. Yep, Mihai knows. Mihai knows. The word is out. People are aware now. There's a reason Phosphor isn't going for these wagons anymore. Oh, God. Not the Gaia units. Mihai knows what's up. Really, really nice awareness on what to do against this. I think he's still going to try and go castle. But I think, like, if he just had 20 scouts right now, boom, this is dead. Double the resources collected, game over. Might be able to take the fight anyways. And that eco for running is never going to compete with Mihai's. That's the idea. And Mihai clicks up to Castle Age. And will probably produce scouts while he's on the way. What does Mihai do if running has 8 to 10 wagons? Well, he just have more scouts, right? Like 30 scouts. Mihai kills that one, and it's super costly to replenish this if you're running. Because he's in such an all-in state right now. I'm going to take some time to get to those wagons. Running still trying to advance forward. Mihai showing a lot of patience. Looking for any individual wagons that are joining the party. Could see a defensive tower if there's any huge concern. There it is for Mihai. Still producing those scouts. 3,000 ahead with resources collected. And tower will go up. Towers don't actually do much against the wagons, but they help you hide your vills. And it adds an extra, like, you know, one extra thing for the player who's going all in to deal with. I think you could take this fight and win it if you're Mihai. Mihai is just trying to wait for upgrades. And look at the micro, and he comes in, and this is before Castle Age upgrades. These are fully upgraded Feudal Age scouts. And the Feudal Age scouts, obviously, a lot of them die. But they're killing a very expensive unique unit. And they're going to get the job done. And I think running will probably tap out as well. If he sees Castle Age comes in. Because he should know. His window was before Castle. And the GG's called. So, like, I really like the creative idea from running. Because I think in some matchups, this can be really good. But against good scout civs, it's not. And Mihai played it perfectly. The denying of the stone didn't necessarily even accomplish anything. Because his opponent still got the castle. But just the scouts being out in the field and the Chinese economy was just super smooth. So, well played. That's what you can do. Against all-in, low-eco wagons. Not organ guns. But Hussite wagons, you can actually just go full scouts. Again, I don't think he ever needed Castle Age there. And then also, you know, it was kind of tough for running too because there was no boars here. So it was just a very different map than a standard game. I like the attempt, though. That does mean that Fox takes the first game in this because they won 2 1v1s, and we won't see a third 1v1 now. So the team with the more accomplished 1v1 players get a point on the board with the 1v1s, and now we move on to team games here. And team games is where I think things can get interesting. Now, Fox is still obviously the big favorite, but I really have a lot of belief in running Matador and Ozone teamed up together. So Look at this map. This map is super cool. All right, guys. So get ready to pay attention because there's a lot of things going on here. We got a 3v3. This is game 2, technically, between these two teams. All right. Now, we got Team Condor and Eagelos here. They're in this section of the map. And then not too far away across a desert watery terrain with fish, we have Team Fox. Now, the reason I'm not going to introduce the players right now is because we need to talk about all the elements of the map and how crazy this is. We've got the Cumans for Mihai on the back, and Mihai is going to want to double TC boom, most likely here with the Cumans. This was their #1 pick. This is definitely something they labbed out, and I don't know if that means a TC like crammed in here, or if that means that Mihai is going to go maybe try and build a TC on the outside. But there's really no other reason to pick humans so early in their draft. I think they will try it. Elsewhere, though, we're going to have Berbers for Dark. This could maybe be a fast castle play from him. He loves his camel archers. There's stone wedged in here nice and safe. As is all the gold, by the way. It's kind of cool. Also could be a scout opening from him. Also could see, for the Incas here, I would expect archers. But who knows from Margugu. Now, on the other side, we have the player 6 playing as the Spanish, which again was their #1 pick, which again makes me think castle. So lots of potential here on Minindi. And eventually players might want to expand, take the wood on the outside. But with everyone being so close to the middle, that's where the action's really going to take place. So interesting builds here. We got Matador on the back. Matador drops a dock. And then we got gold income starting for Ozone. So if I had to expect, I would say we have Matador go scouts. We would have Ozone go archers. And then we have a castle drop from running. So the aggression from Matador and Ozone is the setup for that. And then I think we'll have Margugu go archers. We might have Dark go scouts. And that's all to set up that crazy boom from Mihai. That's just my guess. Actually, I've talked to a lot of players about practice games. I didn't have any conversations about this one. So I'm trying to, figure things out as we go here. But I love Matador and Ozone. I teamed with them before, and they're so good at being the setup, man. Like, their builds are clean. Their micro's insane. So to have these two in front of a player like running who's so good economically with Spanish, really good opportunity. And kind of concerned for Fox, just like, think about it. If the front two players go Army, and that's at least matched by Matador and Ozone, the back player is not going to come into the fold for a long time. The second TC will be there, but when is there going to be Army? And I bring that up because running is going to have a castle, most likely. I'm assuming so. Could be wrong. But it's kind of cool how the stone and the gold is all wedged between the players here. It's really cool. We got a little yin-yang situation here with the wood line. So I know that Condor and Eagelos practiced a bunch against a lot of other teams. They obviously made the main event and had to play through a pretty competitive qualifier. They'll have an idea of what, other teams are trying. But anytime the humans are involved, you want to stop, you want to hit them or hit their teammates before they come into the game with a greater eco. I think they've got the potential for that. Chat, where do you build the town centers? Sorry, not the town centers, like the second TC, if you're Mihai. Like, do you cram it in here and take the fish? And, farm around here, maybe? I think he might build the TC in here. He hasn't scouted the outer area of the map, and it's also very far away, so. There's the barracks for Ozone. Someone asking where's Sebastian for Fox? Sebastian's really good. The thing is, a big thing about team games is who's going to be able to dedicate the time to practice and get the synergy. From what I know, this Dark and Margugu put a lot of time in for the team. In terms of the strategy, everyone on Fox always talks about how Dark is so important strategically for them. So that might be why they have Dark in here. I would say that if it's a 4v4, obviously Sebastian plays. If Fox is good enough to maybe not have Sebastian right now. Maybe busy. I'm not sure the exact situation, but Mihai's not too far behind in terms of what he accomplishes in 1v1s. Dark, Margugu, all really good. But I would give, like, Sebastian an Archer role for sure, and he'd be fine. He'll definitely play for Fox at some point, I'm sure. And the scout goes down there for Mihai. Good coordination here. Ozone loses his scout, but he goes double range archers. Matador adding fish traps now. And also adding a stable, so he's going to go for a fish boom. And there's the second TC from Mihai. So no army support from Mihai. And this is a fast castle camel archer play for Dark. So it is, interestingly enough, actually skirm opening for Margugu. So Margugu is basically playing defense for two players doing something wildly different. We have a fast castle and a fast feudal boom. It's important that Ozone and Matador work together here because it's 2v1 for now in feudal age. Really important they get some value from this. Yeah, Dark is so underrated. Like, people don't realize how good Dark is. Remember, there was a tournament that excluded people who I think had top 10 finishes or top 8 finishes in other tournaments, and Dark won that tournament. And I think he was also down 3-0 in a series and came back and won 4-3. Like, he beat Hart in that. Go back and look at the bracket. He had a crazy run. And everyone forgets about that. He's also 18. The problem with Dark is he's been around for so long that everyone forgets how young he is. But he's still got plenty of potential now. Margugu, he's up against two players here, but you know, what I'm finding is it's kind of difficult for the scouts and archers to find any damage. Everything's nice and close to the TC here. So even if you kill some army, you're probably not going to kill Vils. Obviously not bad for Matador and Ozone to have all this army, but they can't exactly get over to Mihai, can they? They can't exactly get to Dark right now either. But Running's going to drop that castle. Will Running drop a forward castle? Running will be in Castle Age faster. Is it the same Dark as in StarCraft? No, I don't think so. I also think there's a Rocket League player named Dark. I think there's a lot of Darks in esports. Oh, here comes Running. Now, how are you going to stop this castle? You're not. You're not going to stop it because you don't have the army. You've got Margugu, but there's scouts from Magyars, and there's archers from Britain's out, and there he goes. And the foundation was almost denied. And a castle on Dark's face here from Running. This is a beautiful castle. Margugu still finding it very difficult to defend on his own here. And he'll need to back away. And Dark is going to lose his town center eventually. That's a guarantee. I think he needs to cram his castle back here, maybe. I don't know. This is really tough to know where you place that. Yeah, that's a good spot, because what you don't want is you don't want any of the middle area, the soft underbelly, to be exposed. Running will add conquistadors now. Running will actually take the fish. That's 800 food. And Margugu loses a Vil. And this strategy, this build from Condor and Eagelos looking really good. Great coordination from Matador. Great coordination from Ozone against Margugu. But remember, we have not seen the Cumin player get into the game yet. It really hurts Dark that he's going to lose this TC, though. Like, that is going to be such an awkward situation for him. Conquistadors are better than Camel Archers in the early stages. They are worse as the game goes on. I mean, Conks are actually still pretty insane in the matchup, but basically once Ballistics can come in, that's where Camel Archers feel a little bit better than Conks. Margugu couldn't fit farms inside of his, you know, whatever we're calling this area. So now he has to abandon his farms, and beautiful control from El Matador and Ozone. Mihai will be up. Has to be careful. Conks are about to come into his eco, and Dark is here to support. What a crazy map. This is a really good map. The previous game, I did say this is the ugliest map I ever saw, right? So there's some that are just a bit crazy in you know, maybe the other direction. But this map is cool, man. Just the amount of strategies we've seen people trying here. Dark needs to defend Mihai. Camel archers are there. And running is aware. And Margugu is still just staying alive. Staying in this. Back to his farms now, pushing the Feudal Age army away. I think that Ozone doesn't want to lose his archers before Castle Age. I don't want to take any risks with that. It's okay if the Magyar player loses his scouts, I think. By the way, Matador, 8 fishing ships on fish traps there, in the middle there too, which is pretty crazy. Camel archers don't have bodkin yet. That's an upgrade that Dark can't afford, apparently. He only has 1 on food. He's still going to try and get in close to the conks. That's horrible. The conquistadors are so much better. 16 attack against the 7 attack of the camel archer. Really need bodkin for the extra range and attack here. Game 1 was determined by 1v1s. Game 2, determined by team games, which the rest of the series will be. And Condor and Eagelos looking really good right now. This is all about Mihai coming into the fold, though, with 55 villagers. Because Mihai can make a lot of knights all of a sudden. Matador's not in Castle Age yet, and Ozone's not in Castle Age. And Ozone, you could see saving his archers, backing away. So he knows that's going to be a problem. Conquistadors would be the answer to the knights. Eventually, a big ball of crossbows could be an answer to knights, but it's going to be a lot of knights for Mihai. 56 villagers. The human boom worked, right? It worked. The downside was they lost map control, and Margugu's kind of been struggling. And also, I think the build from running, I'd really like to see him take out the TC there. Yeah, there he goes. The build from running was just top tier to get a lead over Dark here. And I don't think the Spanish player really needs to prioritize eco here. We may see a second TC over on the gold for running. Actually, on the shorefish. Wow, the shorefish and the gold. But you just need conk numbers. Siege Workshop from Ozone. They're going to try and kill Margugu, guys. What are they supposed to do against this? This is crazy. And now he's getting the upgrades with Britons. 8 range crossbows. Crazy conquistadors. Matador actually, he's going for an even crazier fish boom. He's got 12 fishing ships on fish traps and getting gill nets right now. And Margugu is trying his best, man, but he's just been up against so much pressure all the time. And the underdogs, the underrated team, maybe the most underrated team in the freaking bracket. I say that with no bias whatsoever. Looking amazing right now. Running's played perfect. Matador and Ozone have played perfect. How many times do you see the cumin boom with that Villi just change a game right now, right? They have way too much resistance for the cumins to affect them. That's at least what it feels like. Elite Skirm's actually really valuable right now because Elite Skirm's good against the conks and the crossbows. So knights are going to be needed here for Matador. Knights are not really here right now for him. Did take some big economic decisions with the gill nets upgrade and all the fish traps. Like that takes time to invest into, and now the payoff is there. He's adding a 3rd stable, and he's going to go take that gold too. There's not that many skirms for Margugu. It's not a number they need to be that worried about yet. And all this pressure is right next to Margugu. If they lose this hill, this game is over because Margugu's eco is just completely swallowed up. And I think they're just going to dive it here, guys. They're just going to dive it to get rid of those skirms. El Matador focusing down the skirms. The crossbows and the conks now come to the hill. Margugu has to abandon ship. Mihai's knights are still left over, and the GG's called. And what a great game from Condors and Eagelos. These 3 are good. They're really good. And there were a couple things which I felt were important in this game. First, I felt it was really important from Matador and Ozone to have proper coordination to control the map. They didn't overextend, meaning trying to force the issue, running underneath TCs, maybe going all the way over here. They held the front, and then it was that combined, but with Running's build and Running's decision to go forward castle. Obviously, you can't go forward castle if your teammates don't have control, so the teammates set him up. And then Running's castle was great. I think if Running drops the defensive castle, I think this is a very different game, because Dark losing that town center meant he was under a lot of pressure. He then fell behind in Vills compared to where he would have been normally. And also, Conks and the micro there from Running was just incredible. 30 kills, 9 deaths. And I mean, dude, like, look at Fox's KD. They just couldn't win fights against anybody. It was all Running, all Ozone, and all El Matador. So I knew these guys were training a lot, and the training paid off. Mihai's eco was good, but still just couldn't compete and get there in the fights. So there's Matador's APM, by the way. These are some of the fastest players in the world in this game, and there's good old Matador. Don't ask me how he's hitting 290 APM near the end of that game. That's just Matador things. And we continue on. All right, catching up to live time ever so slightly. And there's a lot to take in here, I understand. So my apologies for the speed. We're at live time here. This map is called Nile Valley, and it's really fun. So it looks like both of these teams have actually gone for a similar approach on the left side. We've got Ozone going for the early militia, okay? And you've got, yes, farm terrain. And there's also docks, if you wish to do that. And it's a 9 villager start, and we were behind, so we didn't get to see it all. But Matador or Condor and Eagelos also going for a bit of a militia play against Sebastian, who's come in for Fox. Now, we haven't looked back at their bases. They're surrounded by trees. They also start with some farms. So basically, since you start with more resources here, and you start with some buildings, it allows you to afford a lot right away. And ultimately, you know, it seems like the play for Sebastian is try and get feudal age as quickly as possible. You start with a horse as a scout, and so players are going to use those to block or defend. All the horses are here right now. It looks crazy. But yeah, you can also farm here, and you can farm, fish, lots of potential. Now, what we haven't seen is we haven't seen a whole lot from Running. Running has not been disrupted. So again, I call Ozone and Matador great setup players. That is what they're trying to do right now. They're going to put Running in a position to dominate. Margugu did not add militia this game. Margugu, he'll have decisions to make on what he does here as the Mayans. You would think archers would be good, but if you try and use archers across the water here and there's navy could also be a problem for you too. So Mihai, the only one for his team here with militia. Again, a lot to follow, but I can tell your brains are figuring it out now. It's just at the start, very overwhelming. The villager addition from El Matador was interesting. He's going to send the villager back, but it might make them think there's a sneak or something. And Margugu going to pull villagers away from the farms for now. And maybe everyone will do that. But guys, this is where preparation's key. Like, both these teams will have had lots of experience on this map, because this is, like, if you play this for the first time, mistakes are going to be made. This is the main event now. And even though it's double elim, both teams will have wanted to be prepared for this. And Margugu just trying to block Ozone's militia here. And Ozone has not clicked up the feudal age yet. Feels like something's gone a little bit wrong for him. His build does not look good to me. 5 on food, still no resources to click up. Unless this is intentional. I think something's gone a little bit wrong. Now, maybe that's standard. Maybe when you make this much militia, that's the case. But look at this. We got Mihai out here taking the elephants on the side. And you could tell Ozone's thinking about doing the same thing right now because he's in need of food. So really interesting aspect of the map we haven't looked at just yet. To start off, feudal age, Running opens with a fire. And Running is going to have scouts too. There's militia from Mihai disrupting Matador's fish. There's still Vils from Matador potentially coming forward as they attack a crocodile. That might be sneak archers from him. Oh, man. Ozone ran so far. Oh, man. Now the militia are here. Like, he was here, guys. He was here. And he just didn't kill an elephant. That could be... That's like difference between a couple hundred food there. Militia do stop some of the wall. There's a lot to follow now. Here, Ozone will eventually lose his militia, but he's distracting. Okay. Again, Sebastian's on scouts. That'll be the same for running. We have double archer range in the middle right now for Matador. This is right next to Margugu. Like, this is so risky. If Margugu moved out right now, this would be denied and Matador would be dead. The positioning of the ranges, though, will make life very interesting here. Because, like, you know, Margugu is going to have to be paranoid about this all the time. But if Margugu sent archers to Matador's base right now, he would have nothing. He's got no military buildings at home. So it's a really risky approach. So far, Running and Sebastian kind of doing the same things here with scouts and fire ships. This would be time to consider a demo if you're still going to be making ships. I think both players are going to lose scouts, and Running gets a really nice engagement there. And here goes Margugu. And now Margugu doesn't know how many archers are in there, guys. We know when those ranges went up. So he'd still be fine to defend with whatever archers he has at home, probably. But now they're like, oh, crap. And that could be 10 archers. That could be 2 archers. It really makes you think twice about moving out. All because of the timings on when this was found. And I think they're just going to try to deal with this now and take out the range. Which, you know, gives Running a little bit of time, maybe, to go hit somebody else. Not seeing Running scouts right now. I think Running has actually been told by Matador that he, you know, there might be a sneak army. Or maybe he's looking for the militia. But, like, I think Running needs to be focusing here. I really like this decision from Team Fox. Because the more I think about this, it's like, a counterattack is risky. The sure thing is you can take out his production and take out his range. So it's pretty simple decision. You stay here, and now Matador is not going to be able to take a good fight at all with these archers. And this has been all Fox so far, honestly. Like, Mihai is on the way to Castle Age. Ozone's going to try the same, but Ozone's going to be worse off with that time. And Matador is going to have no army. And Margugu is going to have 20 archers. Again, initially thought maybe the forward ranges could do something. But the simple approach is, how about we just take that out and Matador stop producing? Yeah, this is rough. Because this army is going to come to somebody, and it's probably going to come over to Running's base. And it's not like Running in this time really did damage to anybody either. He spent a lot of his time, like, looking for those militia, it felt like. Yeah, I think if the ranges are in a position where they can surprise Margugu, maybe it's different. The ranges will go down. There's the scout. Communication from the team here. Mihai's on this gold. Mihai didn't get the memo, and good damage here from Running. Should be able to kill all these villagers, but he needs to block the forward ones, and that's what he's doing now. Yep. Good stuff. And that hurts Mihai. They needed damage against somebody. Now, one demo on these archers, and Margugu's army goes goodbye. Normally, I'm actually not a fan of going for demos if you're tight on resources, because players are going to see it and micro against it. But here you need something. Also, hello, Monument. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I would be patrolling around with something, hoping. Also, don't think you should ever move across the water with your units clumped up like this. I think you should always go spread formation. But he's got the horse there to guide his way. And Mihai is going to drop a castle. Mihai's dropping a TC and is taking the elephants. The scouts are not going to do much more for running. And I think Matador is just... I mean, this clearly wasn't the plan, right? He does not have an army to work with. So what is he going to make? What can he do? I think Ozone will also try and drop a castle and go for Latus with the Lithuanians, which could be really good. But it's going to be... The roles are very well defined right now for Team Fox, it feels like. A full boom for Mihai. Maybe a couple Huskarls. Margugu. Archers. And going for the kill. And then we'll have Sebastian. Probably a mix of knights. And knights and booming. With the Khmer. Actually has 300 stone. But you must start with 300 stone on this map. Because running also has 300 stone. There's no way they both bought it. Okay, behind the pyramid now. You can actually attack the pyramid. He just did damage to the pyramid. Dude, the fine you would get for that is insane these days. You probably get arrested. Don't go attacking the pyramid. Here it comes. Crossbows coming in. Running aware of this. It's been communicated. We got some knights from Matador. 16 crossbows. There's tower fire here. Margugu can't really escape right now. You know, the expectation is the team with the most army is going to make that count. Right now, it's possible that a lot of Margugu's army isn't useful. And then, maybe Huskarls aren't really ideal for Mihai if everyone's just going to be on knights. There are the Huskarls right now. I think that could be dealt with by Ozone. A lot of light cap for running. Completes the armor upgrade. Sebastian's here to support Margugu. And no villagers lost for Matador. No villagers lost for running. But the crossbows haven't been killed yet. Here is where, when you have weak vills, you could actually lose them all against the Huskarls if you're not paying attention. I think Ozone sees that and has Latus on the way. They're going to try and cut this off, but no +2 yet for Matador. Here we go. Running will focus down the crossbows to the best of his ability. Good work, honestly. Like, they're doing what they can considering the circumstances. This could have been so much worse for them. They will kill this. And Matador will be okay. He can breathe. Maybe drops a TC here in a moment. Crossbows for Margugu go down. Really impressed with their hold here, guys. The Vill counts are pretty even. And, oh, we got a TC going up. And there's a signal from Mihai. Mihai is saying, Sebastian, come here. The militia are around. And, oh, no. Just when it was looking so good. Yikes. Now, I don't know if there is some importance to this monument. Like, if you collect it, you get things. Like, I don't know, resources. I don't think there is, but there's some weird maps in this tournament. I think the reason they're coming here is because of the wood. And because they're running out of wood near the TC. So, you want the piles of wood, which is 850 wood here, plus the trees, which are 200. Well, that puts Matador behind, but he could still probably complete the TC. Ozone now becomes a really important figure in this game, because he's up against Goths, and it's Latus versus Huskarl. So if he can, like, find some nice kills against Mihai and, like, deny this TC, for example, this could be huge. He's moving through. He doesn't know the TC is going up there. But I think he'll be happy with the momentum he has. Latus, really good against everything that's on the field right now. Sees the TC foundation. Mihai will complete it, though. House goes down. Mihai... We'll lose a Vill or two. And okay, well, Ozone knows it's there. Knights here from Matador. Still don't have +2 armor, so they can't be anywhere near these crossbows, but no ballistics from Margugu. I love the stone walls from Margugu. It's like Running got hit. I'm realizing Running's eco is maybe not where you would expect it to be for him. Only 48 vills now. But he is applying pressure to Sebastian, and Sebastian's only on 2 TCs himself. I think that Ozone could dominate with some pretty big fights with the latest, as long as he can get some relics in, which he may be working on. But Ozone, don't throw zone. No, throw zone. No. Okay, well, he's losing his latest there. Curse to the commentator. I think he's maybe tracking this or doing something else in that moment. And yeah, he realized in the last second. Running is... He needs a TC. Like these vills are just chilling here. He needs a TC. Margugu's got like a very defensive thinking right now. And it's kind of hurting the team a little bit. I would like to see him continue to push to hit Matador. Running and Matador are all over Sebastian. Found some really nice kills and pressure at Sebastian's face. And Sebastian's eco is not looking great. We'll see if Running can build that TC now. There he goes. Like if Matador... Sorry, if Margugu went forward right now, Margugu could maybe deny that. But back he comes because he needs some support. And guys, what a close game and what a great job from the team that I thought was going to be dead by now. Ozone, Running, and Matador. They're doing a really nice job here. But still, you've got Goths full booming, which is dangerous. You have the Mayan player with a healthy amount of crossbowmen on the way to Imp. This would be the time for a demo on the crossbows. If you kill these crossbows before Margugu is an Imp, that would be massive here. How do you stop Arbalest? Well, you'd need Imp upgrades yourself, probably. Great job from Matador, too. Like, it looked so rough for him earlier. And now his eco is flying. That's funny. That's actually the Pikeman barracks. So Mihai loses the Pikeman upgrade. I'm sure he's going to add more barracks, but who knows if he'll realize that Pikeman was denied. Margugu still not moving out. Still doesn't want to lose this mass before upgrades come in. There were villagers from Ozone there. Ozone, I think, might drop a castle. They might go for a 2v1 on Mihai. Get a castle on his face somewhere. Big play coming. Got 2 relics and a monastery for Ozone back at home. He's got +3 attack in total. These latest are insane. But the villagers for Ozone have been found. And oh, God, that's so bad. That's not something they need right now. They will kill a lot of the army. But Sebastian should know now that the pressure's coming. And that's going to be the castle spot. Pikeman upgrade just now coming in for Mihai. Will we look back to that Pikeman upgrade being denied as a factor here? He just got it. He's got monks. There's 3 monks, Mihai. This is a long way to walk for a castle, man. They saw it. They saw it from so far away. Oh, God. They're trying. But Mihai's going to build his own castle behind this, and he's got the pikemen. I don't know if this is it for Ozone. He will actually win the fight, but his castle will not go up. So it's actually the correct play to just back up with your castle. They're still in a good spot with the fight until Margugu gets here. Margugu has the lowest vill count in the game, but he has the highest army count in the game. Though, honestly, it's a lot of army from Matador. Matador, 30 knights. They're not all here, though. And now that those crossbows are upgraded, everything's got to get out of here. Everything's got to back away. And this is a problem. You got to somehow jump on this army. And they have to wait for Ozone, I think. Wait for Ozone to get upgraded latest. He's building his castle at home now. It will take Margugu a really long time to get across the map. Also, someone make a demo! It might not work, but it might work, you know? It's funny, every time Dave says that, I always give him a hard time. But he always says it in, like, the most stupid of scenarios. But here, it's obvious. Make a freaking demo, dude. Big raids back here. Oh, my goodness. What is happening? Mihai might have pikemen, but the knight numbers are still insane. He's still got great Vil count, though. Margugu is so hesitant. He's so scared to move out across the map right now. And he is starting to be raided and affected over on this side by Running, who's booming back into the game, and Matador. It's just such an expansive map, and the army is so slow when you go archers. I think there's just a lot of hesitancy from Margugu, and he doesn't know where to go. But, like, from my point of view, if he would actually push and move in, he'd find some damage. And still, he's low eco approach. It's not like he's got this massive economy. You gotta force the issue now. I think he saw Ozone was an imp, and he can't afford Arbalest yet, so he didn't want to throw away his army. But look at the blinking on the minimap, guys. There's attacking everywhere in Fox's base, whether it's humans or lions. And Condor and Eagelos have the villager lead, and it is significant. Only 5 latest for Ozone is a problem, but he's got 2 castles to produce out of, 3 castles to produce out of, 4 castles to produce out of. The real key right now for Fox is Mihai. Goths can go Halb and Huskarl combined here and be, well, actually, just straight Halb. Straight Halb is insanely strong here because everyone is making knights on the other team. I wonder if maybe it makes sense for, like, champions for Running. Or should he consider Bowyar, maybe? Bowyar would probably be better against the Halbs. Maybe Matador tries to go for champions, or maybe Matador tries to go for Gebetto at some point. Margugu, just now, finally advancing across the middle of the map. Like, it just took so much time to get this crossbow mass across the map. Listen, as someone who gets nervous in tournaments, I think it's honestly like a nerves thing. There's been a lot of wondering. And maybe it was all discussed, right? But to me, I think he would always, it's a brain thing. You think of all the reasons you shouldn't do something instead of all the reasons you should. He has just crossed the Nile. Here we go. These latest are elite. 16 plus 6 attack. Oh, man. Halb upgrade is 30 seconds away. But that's still a lot of pikes. If the Halb upgrade is in, this fight is insane for Fox. Without the Halb upgrade, I actually think they lose it. What? That's crazy, man. Oh, that Halb upgrade needed to be in earlier. The thing about Halb is you can't actually push through a line of castles either. Ozone is 1 castle away from this whole thing being protected. And now, if this army goes directly into Sebastian's base, Sebastian is going to have a problem, dude. Running is just now clicked up the imp, by the way. Like, just now. Like, Running is super far behind. But the army for Ozone, if it hits the right spots, could be devastating. Remember, this unit ignores armor. He's got relics in as well. They could definitely fight low numbers of Halbs. You don't want to fight full groups of Halbs, especially from the Goths. Because the Goths just could produce their units so quickly. Oh, God. I'm not sure I love it. But Latus will win because Latus are busted. So, you win that fight. But there's going to be more where that came from. Still running around. Sebastian will chase that down. We do have some Halbs and some Knights from Sebastian and Mihai heading in towards Matador's base. Dude, it has just been so long since Fox got any damage in on Condor and Eagelos. And finally they do. And I don't think Matador is prepped to deal with this right now. And Mihai will not be killed. Mihai's got 75 Halbs. Sure, there might be some losses, but he will always have the pointy boys prepared. They need a unit that can deal with the Halbs. And they need fortifications, because here is Margugu too. And I think Fox is starting to figure this one out. They advance forward. They can hit Ozone. Ozone's protected. But they can hit Running and they can hit Matador. And this team of full Knight players, of everyone going Knights rather, it's just not going to have success against the Goths. You need something else against the Halbs. And I don't know if they're prepared for that switch. Latus are good. You should definitely make the latest. Slavs probably need to consider Boyar. And then... yeah, you know, maybe champs or something for Malians. But you need gold to tech switch. Matador has no gold income. Trade is going to be important. They don't have it locked down yet for trade. And I could see Fox starting to think about it with markets towards the corners. Love the castle positions from Mihai. And he has done a good job. He is the janitor of the game, just cleaning up everyone else's mess with these halbs. And the trade will begin for Margugu and co. Game's still pretty close. Ozone's got 19 trade cards in queue right now. Out of 3 markets. I mean, that's more trade than the other team has. The population's close. The eco count for Condor and Eagelos is higher. Margugu doesn't have halbs here in support. And these are Cavalier in high enough number to maybe kill this. Now, Matador, make a demo. Make a demo. Well, we'll see if he makes a demo. More Cavalier from running coming in. All the halbs right now for Mihai are just so far away. That's military minimap. And they're just not here right now. They're not where they need to be. They're over here, where I think he's preparing trebs right now. If that trade makes it back from Ozone, if he gets a trip back from 23 trade cards, or I guess it's 5 now, but you know, eventually, if they can hold, this is going to be pretty crazy. And I think they need the Slav player to get a switch into something other than just Cavalier. And that's going to take castles. That's going to take lots of resources for a tech switch. The gold count is not great. Matador still has no gold. Actually, how much gold is actually on the map? 91k. So it's out there. I think it's on the left side, though. I think a lot of that gold's over here. Yeah, so Vils need to come over. Running's over here now. Matador's just far away from it. Kind of explains Margugu's problem, too. Running just realized he didn't have Bidax this whole game and is now getting Bowsaw. So, oh god, Running just did a full eco upgrade check. He's like, oh, get all my upgrades. Classic. Well, guys, the halbs haven't been showing in the fights for Mihai. And now they are boxed around the trebs. And now you have to fight the halbs. Before, the halbs would just defend, but now they push. And they don't have a unit for this yet. Holy crap, though, Ozone. Like, Ozone is over-queuing like crazy. Ozone needs to get... How much gold is 29 trade cards? Holy crap, dude. Like, every market he has is crazy queue. You need to get that gold to a teammate and then hope that they can make something that changes things. I was thinking heavy demo, maybe, but the second they cross the water, it's a problem. Wow. It's so crazy, too, right? They go 3 stable, like 3 cavalry units against Goths. And if they switch into archers, they get out-archered by the Mayans, or the Goths just switch to Huskarls. As a wise man once said, Goths be the Goths. Also, crazy overboom from Matador right now. Matador's got 162 Vils. Maybe it's not an overboom. Maybe they could like stop these walls. Hold on. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens for Sebastian and Margugu. Will they push or will they come back to defend this? This would be really annoying. I think Margugu needs to continue to push with Mihai. And then Sebastian needs to react to this. But that is a desperate raid. That is a raid that could do a lot of damage. No Farimba, though, for El Matador. He hasn't had the time or the gold for that. He did just get the... He did just get some gold, though. And here we go. Big attack. A lot of ARBs go down here for Margugu. And we have a score flip. And the Halbs are still pushing, but score flip means a lot. We got raids from the Lightcav getting through. Big, harassing. Ozone's got 30 trade carts running right now. And could maybe spread the love, spread some gold around for the team. Ozone needs support. He needs help with the Halbs. He's putting out wanted flyers on every nearby telephone pole. Wanted help with Halbs. Anyone will pay lots of gold for your service. He's going to snipe the Trebs at least. I mean, that's good. At least you stop losing your castles. We do have Longsword on the way from running. Guys. My boys are the real deal. I hyped it up. Ozone, Matador, and running. They're so good. They're so good. They're playing amazing. What a game. Best game of the day. Best game of the series. And say goodbye to your push here, Mihai. Mihai's got 100 Halbs. I'm not exaggerating. But yeah, guys, this is like where if the communication is there, gold gets shared, and then Matador actually gets his text. Now, having teamed with Ozone and Matador, Matador is one of the quietest individuals you'll ever run into. They've got to speak up here. They've got to share that information with each other because it's so easy to just pass along res to each other here. Here we go. It's happening. We got stone being sent. So I'm sure there's communication on res. A champion tech on the way now for running. And we have elite battle elephant here for Sebastian. What? Crazy. I mean, Sebastian's probably sick of just going for regular cavalier. Elite battle elephant. Strong. Chonky. But these latest, they ignore armor. They still have lots of attack. And Ozone just doesn't seem to care, dude. He's reached that stage with 89 on gold, which is actually what he has with trade and villagers. He could just take the fight. I don't know if that's worth it, though. I think they take that fight to get these castles up. Fox has 200 army! It's 200 army versus 100. And the stone that Matador received is for stone walls through the middle. Castle goes up for running. That'll help hold the position. Castle will go up here for Ozone. That'll help hold the position. Ozone's got so many castles for latest. He's got so much gold income for latest with 47 trade. Matador still only 10 trade. It's only 20 for running. It is 30 for Margugu on the other side. And then we're looking at 16 and 0 for the other players on Fox. So Fox is they're definitely not in a good spot with trade compared to the other team. Do these have Farimba now? Oh, man. Matador. Missing Farimba hurts so much. Losing out on +5 attack is brutal. And the Trebs are on the way from Mihai to push these castles. And you know what I would really like to see now from running that might not be achievable is I would love to see him go for some form of siege here. We have heavy demo for Margugu, by the way. And Ozone sniped some of those Trebs. What a game. We got full stone walls across the middle from both teams. We've got compositions that are only going to get stronger from both teams. In a 3v3, you've got a max of 600 population. We're looking at 550 and versus 570 right now. I love the heavy demo choice from Margugu. What's our wood situation like? Only 100k remaining. So trade is king in these types of situations. And cheap units. And with cheap units, you can hold. Mihai has the cheap units. I think Fox are going to do this, guys. The demos have proved to be really strong. Running's champions, they won fights against Halb, but they fight anything else, they're going to be the inferior unit. I'm not seeing a high latest number right now for Ozone. Matador still struggling to contribute with anything beyond Lightcap that don't have Farimba. And that is a tech. He couldn't afford it before. Probably clicked it at one point and thought that he had it. But that is a tech that was absolutely necessary. I mean, fighting with Lightcav alone is already kind of a struggle. But then if you don't have that upgrade, I mean, yikes. Elephants are in queue for Sebastian. Look at the amount of trebs from Mihai. He really got sick of losing his trebs, didn't he? And Ozone's here with 2 trebs. He's going to have 8 trebs here. But he can't protect them. And you can't engage on the water because the heavy demos will come in and the champions get baited. The champions got baited in and they go down. Ozone's had a crazy game. I mean, the castle for Mihai just got trebbed down. And now, actually, the trebs from Mihai could go down as well. Are they holding this? There's no way, right? There's no way. I think the elephants become the biggest issue soon. There's just so many of them. And also Sebastian... Well, he doesn't actually have that much trade. I guess it's just they're mining the natural gold that's left. There's 50k gold remaining on the map, so it's not like they'll run out immediately. Man, if Matador could get Farimba, and they can just hold this. They don't need to win the middle. They just need to hold it. This could be really good. Matador is going to make some ships. Dropping a castle here to protect this. What a crazy game. It's still open over here, by the way, but there's castles. So... wood means food. There's 122k wood remaining. Elephants are tough to stop. I would love to see Onager from running. He cannot justify it with his current resources. What a fight. What a fight. 14 plus 7 attack on the elephants. The army's just so much stronger here. The arbs, the elephants, the demos, the lag, the trebs. Save the trebs. Look at this line of trebs. Oh my goodness. Still 100 more army for Matador. For Fox. And I'd Matador on the mines because he has been the player struggling the most here for his team. I think his Vills are going somewhere for resources right now. Ran out of resources over here. They're going to run to their death pretty soon. Crazy numbers of Elite Latus right now. But if the elephant number matches it, the elephants win the fight. That's the issue. And Sebastian's going to drop a castle in the middle. This castle will protect the trebs that Mihai's advancing forward with. Great job from Margugu to just be so consistent with the Arbalest number this game. So consistent with the trade. And I think the end is near for Condor and Eagelos in what was been a crazy game. Really nice game. I think they really, like, Fox benefited from their, from the momentum they had in early Imp, in that Sebastian didn't have to stay stuck on a kind of a lackluster unit to stay alive. For running, he was stuck on Cavalier to stay alive. He couldn't tech switch. And now, you know, he feels stuck on Champion, which, again, I don't think is the unit you want. The ideal unit for Slavs would probably be Boyars. Now, I don't know if that changes anything. That or you get Siege Onager, but he hasn't even gotten to Onager this game, right? Series 1-1. And players are not going to want to give it up. Matador's not going to realize he didn't get Farimba, which is, of course, important. Do you guys think Farimba changes the game? Like, do you think it swings the game? I think it'd be a bold statement to say that that's the only thing they missed. But I think it's a crazy... Like, if he had Farimba the whole time, it could have affected some of the fights earlier. Because he's been engaging against archers a lot. Not necessarily the Halbs. Whereas Ozone's been engaging against the Halbs. Ozone did an incredible job keeping this castle up for so long. But it is just a better army here for Fox. The Arbalest, the Elephants, the Halbs, the production speed on the Halbs from the Goths. Let's not forget that. Ozone still holding this castle up. You've got to be kidding me. But the army from running is nowhere to be seen because they're camping his production. I don't know. I'd have to look back. I think it's too bold to say Farimba wins the game. But that's a tech that you're going to want back. That's a tech that that Matador is going to be upset realizing he didn't get. What you don't want to do is realize right now. You don't want to find out about that until after the series. Hopefully your teammates don't notice. Hopefully you just leave this game and move on to the next, because that could live with you. Sorry, I mean, so much is happening. The game is actually lagging here. But it's been a banger, guys. It's been a banger. Still crazy that there's been no trade from Mihai this whole time. I mean, he's only been making Trebs and Halbs. But how valuable is that you can just not need trade at this point and still be in a good position? There's no counter raids happening. Margugu walled this entire thing for his team. The entirety of it. He didn't miss a single spot. That's sick. And Margugu's KD is going to be fantastic. Ever since they crossed the Nile, or ever since they entered the Nile, Margugu has just been perfect. Perfect trade, perfect late game, perfect control. It was just that one period where I wanted him to push that I was a little critical. But he didn't want to take the risk, right? They thought they had the lead. And why take the risk to advance forward and lose your army if you have the lead? Margugu actually just bought wood because they know wood could be an issue. And it's kind of interesting because Running bought wood too. So the wood price is getting really expensive. So when you have the lead, when you have the money, you want to buy it up so all the poor people can't afford it, you know? That's not actual life advice, but, you know. AW2 economics. Halbs now. Gonna go in. It's 600 population still for the team that's losing this game. They have a pretty high army count. We have Cavalier from Matador. Still no Farimba, but going to snipe some of the Trebs. But it's just not good enough. It's just still not good enough. Yes, maybe they are stuck in denial. And that is why they won't resign here. Or maybe they're waiting for their populations to go down further. Who knows? At this stage, Ozone's got, like, if you're really losing this bat, maybe you delete some trade cards. That's stupid? No, that's stupid. Delete Vils just to get 20 more Latus on the field, because he's been pop-capped for so long. They don't actually have, like, Matador only has 40 population space available for army. It's kind of a problem everyone's facing as the trade count goes up. But any compromise you make on that, you're just compromising eco, which ultimately is super important as the game goes on. 30k gold remaining. I honestly think a lot of that is here, though. Yeah, 25k of that is actually on Ozone's side. So that means Mihai needs trade, which he's doing. And he's doing it with multiple markets to get as fast as possible. And he'll be fine. He's not actually spending gold for most of his army. He's just, like, making Trebs. What a game. What's the price? Let's go to the market. 300 gold to buy 100 wood right now. Pretty pricey. Running's going to share some of that wood. Speaking of wood, by the way. Speaking of techs, Running didn't have bid axe until Imp. Dude, that's brutal. That's brutal, because you have a faster farming civ, so you reseed your farms faster than any other civ. And he did at one point get like a bunch of ecotechs that he'd forgotten, but yeah, no Farimba just feels so bad. Has to assume he has it. Type a 1 in chat if you've clicked the tech before. You swear you clicked it, and then you realized later you didn't have it. You know, just so everyone relates here a little bit. That happens to me more than it should. I blame the game. I had the resources. I clicked that tech. But usually it's probably just missing 1 or 2 food or something. Here we go. I think the GG will be called here. They're completely out of steam. There's no positives to look to here. Nothing that I can see. All the barracks are on the front right now for Mihai. Here comes freaking Ozone again. Still refusing to quit. Their population's still not really dipping below 550. They're all doing really good. Their units are just not great. The Cavalier are inferior. The Champions are inferior. The Latis are great. So, someone says auto farm blocks my tech sometimes. Yeah, that's actually a big deal. Most pros, when playing archers, won't have auto farm on, so they can afford ballistics early and TCs and whatnot. It's actually a genuine recommendation. If you have auto farm on and you play archers, you should get into the habit of turning that off. Just so you could simply afford the ballistic timing, the TCs, and you just toggle that on later in the game. Doesn't matter as much with other things, but certainly at this stage you want to have auto farm on. Heavy demo for Matador. Look at Margugu just like patrol the water with demos. Okay, so now Matador is going to go for heavy demo. I would have loved to have seen that earlier. Farimba still not in. Matador still going Cavaliers. Got 70 in queue. 70 Cavalier in queue. Man, their economies are insane here with the trade. 70 trade for running. 70 trade for Matador. 50 trade for Ozone. But the trade is not an issue for Sebastian and for Margugu, like, and for Mihai. They're taking better fights, so they don't lose as many gold units. If they need more trade, they can just add more trade. And they're pushing deeper and deeper and deeper into the heart of the Condors and the Eagelos. And Ozone continues to fight like a madman, but he loses. Dude, that's so sick for Mihai. Mihai immediately focused on the bombard cannons. What a game. I hope that when the series concludes, that Condors and Eagelos don't regret losing this one. To me, it felt like they should have, they should have died early. They felt very far behind to me. So they did a great job to bring it to this point. And then it came to a position where they could have actually won it. Had a couple things gone differently. Ooh, no relics now for Matador, so he loses for... not Matador, sorry, Ozone. He loses for attack. But he's aiming to push back here. They actually have bombard towers here from Ozone, too. What a game from him. Condor and Eagelos have more population. Get Farimba, bro! Okay, chat, can everyone say Farimba, please? Ozone's getting the relics back. They denied that castle. What is happening? Come on. We got to give them Farimba. We got to give them Farimba. There may be some demos as well to pay attention to. Come on. It seems to me like Fox has way more wood, though, guys. Wood is the big deal. But come on. Check your castle. Get Farimba. Get that relic, old man. No, Sebastian, don't do that. He's a holy man. No! The price of wood is going up. I see the wood bank. I see the trade count. I see the position. I still think this is better for Fox, but they don't have as much trade as the other team. My goodness, what a game. Again, just for your mentality, do you want to realize you don't have Farimba right now? Oh, that's so painful. That is a very good point that Halbs become really costly. They might not cost a lot of wood, but they do cost wood. And all the other units out here, archers too. Come on, Farimba, let's go. God, their trade is right back here, guys. They start to lose trade, it's Jover. I think it's Jover. No Farimba tech. Wouldn't it be something if he clicks his castle to, like, repair it or something and notices the crown is there? Sebastian has 100 elephants in queue. So, yeah. That's not good. That's not good. Wood continues to be purchased. Elephants going into the trade. Ozone tried to gather up his vills to drop a castle, and he selected trade carts too, so the trade carts are blocking the castle foundation. Oh my goodness. That's annoying. Barracks are now going up next to the relics. I mean, Matador doesn't really need more stables. He's got 20 of them, so he's fine with that. He needs less vills. Or less trade carts. There's not a lot of population space to go around. He's got like 40 population space available for military. But it's the same for like Sebastian too, right? But it's just Sebastian has 40 elephants that actually have, you know, full upgrades. What a fight from the Condors and the Eagelos. Okay, so funny thing now is if trade starts to go down for Matador, he's going to get crazy Cavalier count. Just crazy. He's going to go up to 100 Cavalier maybe. But then they can't make more after a certain point. So, yeah, this hasn't been dealt with. And this will be the end. Look at them. Buy wood. Mihai's like, I'm rich. I'm rich. Spending 527 gold for wood. Not many trees around anymore, folks. And even taking out the lumber camps and the buildings over here with some ships. This cannon galleon has 35 kills and has dealt 21,000 damage to buildings. I'm sure because of the momentum of the game that they realized a long time ago this was going to be tough to win. But they really didn't want to call it until their population was at a position where they were dead. Which is completely fair. You can't be resigning if you're 50 pop below max pop. You just can't. You got to keep trying. But unfortunately for them, Fox played too perfect. They fortified up. They were patient. They dropped all those walls. And I think this is the fight that ends the game. Because this is not a fight they're going to be able to win. Now, I hope for my boys. I hope for Ozone and Matador. And for running, that the Farimba situation is not realized until after this series concludes. Not a conversation you want to have in between games. And it's tough to think about that when someone has played so well, you know? But that may be one big thing that was missing here. Okay. Trade down to 47 for Matador, so he said he'd get a lot more Cavalier. He's up to 60 now. There he goes. Look at the trade count for Mihai. Just so we could buy wood. 104 trade carts and 18 villagers for Margugu. It's honestly a great ratio for this type of game. That's awesome. I think, like, you don't really need vills. You need wood and gold. The way you get wood is you buy it. The way you get gold is the trade. So 105 trade carts with more in queue. Let's go. Population looking really bad now for Condors and Eagelos. And yeah, we've known it's GG for a while. They just refuse to quit. Because they're fighters, man. Let's see how high this wood price gets. Feels like we're seconds away from the GG. And Castle goes down. Ozone had such a good game. He's only at 11 latest now, guys. He could barely queue up units. This will be the GG call. 1.5 hours in, with only 30k wood left on the map, and it's probably in places that people can't find. The GG will be called. The GG will be called. The GG will be called. And there it is. GG's called. What a game. Crazy game. Crazy, crazy game. Look at how many halbs Margugu made that game. Not Margugu, sorry. Mihai made that game. 1,400 1,400 halbs. 1,400 halbs, 661 arbalest, 494 elite battle elephants. We had 810 Latis, 849 champs, and 920 cavalier. The bodies hit the floor. And here's the total KD if you weren't able to pay attention to that. Matador and running just didn't have units that could compete right there near the end. I think you want, like, slabs are an awkward civ to play there because they don't get paladin. So you would ideally want Boyar. Now, if you watch the full game, it was really tough for him to get to Boyar because they were being pushed. He didn't have the castles. And if he tried it, I think they would have died much earlier. But maybe they needed that. And then also with that, you would want Onager. Like, Siege Onager is the next thing. Also really hard to get to when you didn't have momentum and control. So I am not critical of running. It's understandable. They stayed alive because of the champion cavalier play, but it wasn't ideal. Matador, same deal. Obviously missing Farimba there was painful, but even still. Do you want to make cavalier against elephants and cavalier against halbs? Maybe not. Look at the resources sent from both teams, the resources collected. This is the trade profit. It was really well done from everybody. Ozone had an amazing game, in my opinion. But the team, like, even all the way back in early Castle Age, it just felt like, I mean, remember Matador's opening was so brutal, and then Running's economic situation wasn't great. TC's got denied. Like, it's crazy they survived that long, honestly, with everything that transpired there. So, a good game. We will have more in this series that may hit YouTube at some point. So, YouTube, if you want to see the full series, check the video description. What a crazy map that is. That was really good. Really hard to get used to, I think, with the start, because all the farms on the shoreline look kind of weird and everything, but really well played. All right, this is one of my favorite maps, and this is the first time I've actually casted this map as well. So buckle up, ladies and gents. This map is called Pog, all right? And it is a map where players start in unique positions. So you kind of have like your front players. So here we've got... oh, oops, wrong way. We got Sebastian for Team Fox up against Ozone from Team Condor and Eagelos. And it means that you have kind of the front players, the mid players, and the back players, and then there's water on either side. The other thing that I love about this is, yes, there's water on either side, but there's different reasons to go to both sides of the water. So here we've got stone and gold, whereas on the right side, we've got lots of wood. So I was thinking about this a couple weeks ago. I think this tournament has kind of nailed that in many ways with some of the maps. I think that there should be more asymmetrical maps in Age of Empires 2, more maps with wider variety of starting positions. I think it incentivizes scouting as long as it's not unfair, right, with like resource spawns. I think it can be really good for the game, and this is a good example of it. So, Fox is up 2-1 here. This is a best of 5, and Ozone's gone Teutons. And Ozone almost threw zone and lost a Vil there. Teutons makes me think TC drop, guys. Is that too crazy? I think Teuton TC drop is probably not an Ozone type thing. But maybe a full-on tower rush play. They do have Persians available, so if they wanted the TC drop, they could do that, and we could have a villager down for Sebastian. No loom. Ozone Scout has been very active here. And let's see if he can at least get the villager kill. Got her. Is that worth it? A lot of people would say no, but think about it this way. He was not going to push in deer anyways, most likely, from what I saw. Knows where the opponent is. Knows about the wood line. Knows about the gold. Knows about the stone. It's not the worst time to lose your scout. Does give you a nice little start on the Koreans here, which could also tower rush, actually, so... T90, if you aren't a Florida man, why does Googling Florida man streams AOE2 returns just you? No, it doesn't. You're lying to me. No, it doesn't. Behind this, by the way, we've got Saracens from Argugu, which could be a good naval civilization or a good archer civ. And then we have the Turks. And when I think about Turks, I think about castle drop. But their late game's really good. Could honestly just kind of play in towards stable units and take it from there. Got Franks in the back for Matador with all this safety. Could see lots of scouts and knights. And we got running playing as the Celts. Celt's kind of an awkward civ, right? Because any unit you would typically go for in a team game on land, archers or knights, their tech tree limits them, but their eco's good. And it's a good civilization for someone like running. Because running is great with infantry siege style, monk style, which, of course, Celts don't have the best monks, but still, like, the style normally associates some monks with it. So it could be good. All right. I see one link for the Florida Man games, and the rest are T90. Guys, there's no way what you're saying is actually true. I don't believe you, okay? And even if it is true, it's likely your browser knows your preferences, so it's recommending me. It does not mean the entire world would get me. It is definitely true. I'm actually kind of scared. I'm not the only streamer that lives in Florida, and I'm certainly not... I don't have the traits of a Florida man. That's what I tell myself anyways. All right. I like how running is trying to help with this deer right now. Help Ozone out, and Ozone is up. Ozone walled here, but didn't wall here. He's walling here. It's a bit weird. He's on gold, so this feels like it's just going to be archers. Dock on the left side with fish for dark. Dock on the right side with fish for Margugu. Margugu's up. Sebastian is up. Sebastian going to go archers too. So Korean's the better archer civ long term, but Teutons have a pretty smooth opening because of the really cheap farms. So there is that. Okay, where's my phone? Okay, what are you guys Googling? 1 second. What are you guys searching? You guys are so full of it. Florida Man. Florida Man streams. There's apparently something you can stream on Netflix called Florida Man. Florida Man streams AoE2. That might bring me... Yep. Okay, there's actually a bunch of them. All right. Well, you know, I am the only person who, you know, streams AoE2 from Florida, so. And I also... People who are new won't know this story, but I may have been sought after by the police for my Florida Man Force Nothing connections. Haven't played the video on stream in a bit. I'm going to get back to doing that soon, but... Anyways, double range here from Ozone. Double range from Sebastian. Did they get any scouting on the dock locations? They didn't. So they do not know what Matador is going to do. And I think Matador... Wow, the scouting situation's weird here. Because it looks to me like he saw it and maybe ran away, and it... I don't know, but... He went, like, right there. Maybe it was a sheep, even. Matador is going to be making scouts. And so is Margugu. Yeah, I was from Pennsylvania originally. I've lived in Florida for 5.5 years now, I think. But yes, I am Pennsylvanian. This is still wide open, by the way. And I'm not sure if Fox will notice that. I think they are going to assume this is Walt, which is hilarious. That is wide open. The most important thing is that your opponent thinks you're fully walled. If your opponent thinks you're fully walled, you are fully walled. They don't want to waste any time, click back there, and then have it be walled anyways. What type of fool would keep their base wide open like this? This is a rough start for Ozone. Did get housed pretty badly here. And is going to have to fight uphill against a lot of army. I'm not from Scranton, Pennsylvania, but I lived close to Scranton. I had this friend who had a farm named Dwight. He was a pretty cool guy. We don't really keep in touch anymore. He got a little too crazy for me. No fletching upgrade yet for Ozone. And Castle Age on the way for running. So, if you haven't picked up on it, the very back player has gone scouts here. for Team Condor and Eagelos, right? The middle player is going fast castle with no fish. So this is going to be a siege push for sure. And there's always this hill on this map. This is not just this generation. All generations have this hill. And the goal is to siege push from this hill and kill off Sebastian. If you can get Sebastian out of the game, that would be crazy. Now, Dark is going to be in Castle Age soon for his team. And Dark's actually had fish. So expectations there is that his eco is going to be in a better spot. But there's one siege workshop. It might be. Is it full scorpions? Maybe like a bunch of scorpions with rams? I mean, now more than ever, I believe in full scorpions with certain civs because of what we've been seeing with Phosphor and Romans. What you can't do is you can't push like the TC easily. But you take out the buildings pretty fast. Maybe it's probably going to be a mix. And they know what's coming. Like, Sebastian's probably like not gonna have a fun time here, but they got a hold. The tower helps, but now the ranges are at risk of going down, and now we're gonna have rams from running. This is a crazy strat, dude. This is crazy. Also, El Matador is all in, by the way. Matador is never going castle, at least that's what it seems like. He's still producing scouts. They are gonna dive for this TC. How do you stop this? You need mangonels, but you need to keep your mangonels alive, which means the archers and the scouts from Margugu and Sebastian need to be in position. Now, the archers for Sebastian are in his TC right now, and running is trying to get through or run through and see what's back there, because you're wondering, what is Dark doing right now? And there goes Dark. Just 2 rams and lots of scorps. I like scorps because it helps you against the units so much. I don't know if you can stop this. I think Sebastian's going to be... He's going to get his TC eaten, man. Somewhere in Vietnam, there is a very proud man smiling as the TC is about to be eaten. The rams may need to be repaired. The mangonel needs to be here. The mangonel's not on the way yet. Oh my god, Sebastian is so dead. Also, Dark is imping right now. Dark is imping. What in the world? It's a fast imp? Fast imp into your teammate being dead. That's my favorite strategy. I try that every Friday night. My friends don't like it, though. Oh, God. Sebastian's going to lose. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. Sebastian's going to run. Dark is like, hey, I'm an imp. Come to my place. It's pretty cool. I just got a new upgraded sound system and everything. And now Margugu's going to die. Oh, crap. Well, I mean, Sebastian has to try what he can. The tower's next, though. And Margugu needs knights. But, like, can you make enough knights to deal with this many archers and scorpions? I don't necessarily think so. What they'll tell themselves is that running is all in, and that running doesn't have a good economy. But Sebastian's kind of dead. So that's where it gets tricky. Now, I like this. Margugu's going to try and pick off reinforcements, or maybe get a counterattack. Ozone's actually just going to add spears because they're worried about the knights. Can Dark do this with fast imp, bombard cannon, hand cannon? It's pretty crazy. Good work there from Margugu. It might actually be winnable. Like, in theory, right? If you get to, like, 20 hand cannons, you kill all the feudal age units, and then 1 bombard cannon kills the scorps. And now they're scared, so now they're kind of backing off. I mean, I think it, in a weird world, is actually doable. Kind of crazy that Dark produced the bombard cannon from here. But yeah, here he goes. Hand cannons and bombard cannons. Ozone's not in castle yet. He can get his upgrades eventually here. And Sebastian has a cute little TC. I already made an Office reference. Had Sebastian been killed off, I would have said, bye, bye, little Sebastian. It's funny, I started to make those jokes, and then he got, like, really, really good, and instantly became, like, top 5. in the tournament I was watching. So he must know Parks and Rec. Split! Must not have appreciated those jokes. Oh, God, big fight. There's the Bombard Cannon back there. I think you have to go snipe the Bombard Cannon, Matador. Can he do it, though? Oh, God. What a weird engagement. I don't know if I've ever seen these types of units engage all at once before. Archers, Scorpions, Hand Cannons, Knights, Scouts, Spears, and a Bombard Cannon. and the... the Scorpion feudal army is actually winning the fight. Look at this. Ozone's diving in with archers. Just screw your hand cannons. You got to take the bombard cannons. They're so expensive. It's been kind of tough. Sebastian's going to repair. Sebastian's going to repair. What a team player. What a team player. Oh, my God. This is crazy. A lot of Ozone's archers died. The bombard cannon. Sebastian might need to repair again. Sebastian's repairing again. Ah! No way, dude. Okay, these are Teuton spears. There's more scorpions here. Guys, if this happened in ranked, let's be real. The blue player would be, player 3, player 5 noob. They would not be helping. They'd be whining and complaining. They would have resigned, right? They're telling the other team about how, oh, this isn't my fault. My teammates suck, right? But here, this is just how the cookie crumbles. And you've got to work with your team. Unfortunately, the Knights now from Matador and the Pikes now from Ozone, I don't know if they finish it. But they've done more than enough. Teal lost the Bombard Cannon mass and will lose the Siege Workshop. Teal doesn't have a crazy eco, and too many hand cannons went down, in my opinion, for them to be okay from here. The big one now is Matador. Matador's 3 TCs, right? He's 3 TCs. He can still produce cav as he does this. And so, as the game goes, he will have a ridiculous Vil count. There's no way for anyone to really change that. They would have to push right through the gut, where running still has some scorpions, where there's pikemen from Ozone, there's monks as well from Ozone, and we're about to see a game 5 in this series. Yeah, this team is legit. Like, these players are really good, and they practice their asses off, from what I've heard, and are ready to go in this tournament. I'm really happy for them. Good strategy. Crazy strategy from Dark, too. Like, both teams tried pretty ridiculous things here. Fast Imp and then YOLO Siege. But Sebastian, still in Feudal Age, about to get hit. The bigger thing is Margugu is now getting affected as well. This is an absolute slaughter. And Dark is just like, well, sorry, guys. Like, I'm trying with hand cannons, but I can't get enough of them right now. Very well executed, I agree. I wonder if, like, they felt like the important thing was their start needed to be good enough to push out across the map. And then from there, I liked what they did. I liked how many scouts Matador had. I liked how many archers Ozone had. I really liked Running's play as well. He was always ramming down the correct buildings. Always had the Scorpions in position. And the follow-up in Castle Age has been perfect. The Monks is great. Monks and Pikes. Because the main thing you're actually worried about is the Knight player now. Eventually the hand cannons do become an issue, though. Like, let's not forget. Like, that's still an imp unit here amongst Castle Age players. And Sebastian, but... What I would have wanted them to see here is you could actually stack this with Khmer. You go Khmer and you go Celts, and then you have 8 ranged Scorpions because of the Khmer team bonus. And if you want to see that, I have a game that'll hit YouTube, at least for the live viewers, maybe in like 4 days, 5 days. It was a similar map, and Phosphor played. He did his Roman thing. It was a ridiculous 4v4. I'd never seen Phosphor play, like, you know, team games before. And the whole game was just so sick. Similar thinking. Khmer, Roman stacked, and then really good players on the other team. I think this game is over. Dark is telling the team right now, I have my bombard cannon again. And Sebastian tries to quick wall it. Oh, man. Nice micro from running there. Running only lost one Scorpion. Yeah, Matador is just... He's just got to pick off every bombard cannon now. Actually, he's kind of having a rough time. Oh, God. That was actually costly. And we got Ozone on the way to Imp. Ozone's on the way to Imp. Crazy. Saw Running get coinage, too. I think Running is going to send his food and his gold to Ozone. Because he just needs wood and gold. Ozone's an underrated monk player these days. He said he got annoyed. Oh, big shot. He got annoyed getting, like, clowned on and started to, like, set control groups up to 10 now for monks. But this is still dangerous. This could be denied. The Scorpions were a big part of this army. And hold on. Hold on. Nah, it just feels like there's enough resistance here. Castle, if Ozone's castle goes up and he's an imp, I'd love to see the crenellations upgrade, and then bombard cannons can't even push it. That would be sick, actually. It's a really expensive upgrade. Again, if this is a ranked game, imagine how much blue would be crying right now. Oh, where's the help? Player 3, no army. Ugh. By the way, don't be that guy. I can only make that joke because everyone's encountered people like that. Don't be that guy. Sebastian actually gated Matador here to try and trap him, which is kind of crazy. The knights can't actually escape. Is he going to get crenellations? Crenellations cost a lot of stone. Also, 90 villagers for Matador, which is 30 more than Dark has. But Dark has a crazy army. This might not be over yet. Like, this, to me, is winnable, actually. Unless Crenellations comes in, which he can't afford. So the castle will go down. The Monk micro needs to be perfect. 30 hand cannons can kill Castle Age Knights with the support of camels and knights. The Scorpions mean very little from here, in my opinion. Which is why, I mean, Running knows that. Running is just slinging resources to Ozone. Ozone's army's, like, also very vulnerable to all going down unless he converts the bombard cannons. Unless he converts the bombard cannons! Oh, that was close. That was really close. Also, shout out to Sebastian on the way to Castle Age. Hype. Hyped for him. Where's his TC? Oh my god, the TC's still here! I thought he relocated it. I looked on the minimap to see if he if he had another TC. Okay. Alright. He's like, guys, don't wait up. I'll catch up later. You go on ahead of me. I'll be there later. It's the bombard cannons that are key. Oh no, they're gonna get converted. They're not converted. They are converted. 2 of them. And Margugu and Dark still hoping to push this castle. And Ozone says, not today. I will not let you push this back. But the army counts. The army types. Actually really good. If the castle's not there, I think this fight is ridiculously close. And the castle might go down. Oh no, Sebastian. Castle Age, Castle Age, Castle Age, Castle Age. He makes it. Okay. Matador is all in knights. He's got 35 of them. Guys. Fox is going to win this game. Fox is going to win this game. Ozone's just trying to rely on monks. Is that enough here? He's going to go Halb now. Well, I like that a lot, actually. That's a really good upgrade to mix in here. Oh, man. Oh, the monks hop out again. The monks hop out again, and the conversions were going to come in. And they knew it, and the GG is called. I was really concerned there, honestly. I was really concerned. Until I saw Ozone click out, I was just thinking that Hand Cannon Camel against primarily Knight could get the job done. At this point, 60 villagers more for Matador because he was the only one booming in this game. Obviously, Sebastian was out of it for a long time. And well played from Ozone and from Running, too. It was a great strategy, man. It was a really good strategy. And Condor and... I think I might have said Fox won. Condor and Eagelos get the win. A hype series. This will go down to the final game. And I think it should be a home map choice then from Fox. But these games have all been pretty close. The 1v1s, also fairly close. Remember that crazy game between Ozone and Dark to start off the day here too. So, yeah, I also think, like... It was a weird situation at this stage. Again, you eliminate the monks. I think Hand Cannon Camel is superior. The castle isn't there. They could probably have taken some pretty good fights, but they're so far down in score. They probably didn't look at it the way I looked at it. I was just thinking, if Ozone missed micros once, castle falls soon after, and they might not have the army. So, was the situation that dire? They're down 1,300 score, and they'd have a player who's doesn't have a TC. It's pretty bad. But if they broke the castle, I think they could have snowballed, and there could have been a whole lot of panic for the other team, and it could have got messier than maybe they thought it would. So there's the KD. Look at that. Oh, man, poor Sebastian. Dark's KD was great. The thing that was amazing from Condor and Eagelos is that they killed the initial bombard cannons and hand cannons when this all started. That's the key against an all-in push. If they weren't able to do that, Dark would have maybe got that snowball going so much faster. The economy, though, was really what won it for Matador. He could always produce more knights than anyone could compete with. And it was all just because of the setup. But I loved how many scouts he made initially to support Running. I love the coordination from these three. It feels like they've been playing together forever. And I know they played lots of practice games, so clearly it's paid off. All right, so big one here, folks. Now, this is a double elim tournament. So if you're a fan of either of these teams, if they lose, they still are alive in the tournament. But winning is huge, of course, and especially when both these teams have been so solid. So we've got flank for Matador, Dravidians, and Ozone Japanese, and then pocket for Running. Expectation here is a combination of focusing on the fish and also focusing on the land. There's also water in the middle, which you could take. So we'll see if players choose to dock the middle or dock the outside. This is a really good map for Ozone, a really good map for Matador. We played many, many games in the 3v3 Delicious tournament together. I'm really pumped for them here. I think they're going to shine, okay? Now, Fox... Be kind of curious to see how they play this, but they've got Burmese pocket from Sebastian, which initially makes you think about Erenby or something. I think it's just like an overall good economic civ. Their draft wasn't perfect for this. And then we have Huns on the flank. Again, I expect aggressive and maybe archer play. And then we've got Mihai, Italians. Maybe the civilization to lean a little bit more towards water with some of their bonuses, but also good archers. Now, there are penguins. The penguins attack. Okay? Now, that's actually not an issue in the middle at all. But, well, it shouldn't really be an issue in general. But sometimes they spawn... I guess this map isn't too bad. I ranted about this before. In the other tournament, they were on the shoreline when you go to dock. So this is fine. This should be fine. Also, what's up, Tato? Really good team. The Condors and Eagelos, but Fox is Fox, man. Over the past 2 years, all these players have just gotten better and better. It's clear they put in the time and the practice, combined with their talent. We have a dock in the middle from Running, and we're going to have a dock in the middle from Ozone. Okay, so they're not going to go to the outside at all. And we've actually got a wolf here attacking Sebastian. With the hill bonus, I think. This could be really bad, Sebastian. That's a hill bonus wolf. Hill bonus wolf! Hill bonus wolf! Woo, woo, woo! Oh, guys, there shouldn't be any animals that attack on dock maps. It shouldn't happen. I'm sorry. Woo, woo, woo. But I'm actually bent out of shape over that. I feel really bad for Sebastian there. Most tournaments will not have animals that attack. It just adds a little bit of extra RNG, and that's a villager down there for Sebastian. That slows him down a little bit. Obviously, players should also know about that, which is why I think 2 villagers were sent. It was extremely unfortunate that the wolf actually had a hill bonus there. Hill bonus also applies to animals. So 3 docks in the middle for this team, and everybody else is going to dock the outside. Now, what we need to look at is the scouting information. And are they going to assume, like, it's very likely they might make Navy on the outside. Now, also, if you're on the inside, you've got villagers exposed against scouts. You've got fishing ships exposed against scouts, too. So you do have to be really careful out here. As you can see, you can walk around on this terrain. Let's see what these builds look like. Japanese Dravidians should be a bit more suited for these builds. I think Huns are pretty on par there, too, honestly. Italians, the cheaper age up. And also the solid archers is nice. This will be a lot about army here in the early stages of feudal age. It's most likely scouts from running. I don't think we'll see much navy at all from Ozone, Matador, and running. I think they want to go full land army. But again, what's the scouting going to be like here? Will Fox be able to determine that the opponent has not docked the outside, or will they assume? Their fishing ships will be untouched, so if they know there's no threat of any like damage coming in, they could essentially have a free fish boom. And Margugu signaling wolves. Is that important communication here? I guess he's telling Sebastian. Hey, Sebastian. There's wolves there. I heard about that bill earlier. Don't do that again. And yeah, now they're both scouting the shoreline. They're hoping to find information. They do not know where these players are at right now. So, no barracks yet for Matador. A little late on that. Barracks is up here for Ozone. A little late on the barracks timing, but really tight build here, so that's fine. Still Fox scouting, looking to determine exactly how to play this. I think if you realize there's 0 docks on the outside, you know they have to dock middle. You should send all your army there. And then you should fish boom. And that's what Sebastian is doing, adding a lot more fishing ships than we'll see running add, for example. So running's all like centered his build around the fast food income early and the scouts. And we're going to see scouts from Ozone. Double scouts? Okay. I was not expecting that. And we got ranges from Matador. Whoa. Double scouts. Bit of mind games here. We got scouts here from Margugu as well. Other teams went double scouts on this in the past. Be interested to hear the exact reasons why. I still think fast archer builds could be strong. And there's a signal now from Mihai pointing out, hey, we can work together against Running's fish. And not going to lie, like, there's a lot of exposed eco in the middle, and Fox has noticed it. Fox is very well aware that all of this is out here, and this is where they're going to bring that pressure right now. It'd be really good for them. Ozone getting some nice hits with the spears. That could have been worse for him. And he's going for those full walls. Scouts now actually here from Running. What a crazy spot to get to, actually. Kills 2 villagers back here. I would have never expected a scout rush back there if I'm Margugu. A nice value. It is archers for Mihai on this side as well. He doesn't actually know what Matador is going for right now. But Matador is going to move forward. Now, this is a big moment in the game, because we've got archers from Mihai headed this way. There will be no army to stop this, so he needs walls. And then there needs to be recognition from Mihai that if Matador isn't here, that Matador is going to be at his base here soon, all right? He already prepped the tower. The archers are on the way. There's going to be a scout there as well. A lot is happening all at the same time. And these are the moments where the best players can shine in their damage control. Villager, you can see the difference, right? The scout's not attacking. The scout's not blocking. The tower was already on the way up. And Matador took some heavy losses here. Did save some of his vills. Does run away from the tower. But advantage Mihai, I think. Still got scouts looking around here. You still got scouts and spears towards the middle. We've got some fire galleys here. There's a lot to look at right now. Eco count is ahead for Fox because of the fish on the outside. And it's Matador who's in a rough spot, but does stabilize. He's got lots of vitals right now, guys. There's no berries to go to on this map, so you're pretty much dropping a mill into the middle of nowhere so you can farm, too. Feels like the middle eco is such a liability right now for Team Condors and Eagelos. And Sebastian has scouts. He's constantly on the prowl. I've yet to see the scouts from running combine in a huge way with any army from Matador or Ozone. He's kind of picking off the outside, which I kind of like, but waiting to see a big moment, big coordinated moment from them. There's the Penguins attacking. I think right now, Condor and Eagelos would love to have a big demo. Will they get it? Demo sneaking. Headed for the scouts. I think Sebastian knows about it. There's running again, looking for fishing ships. Here, there's a scout fight between Ozone and Margugu. Sebastian's losing a lot of his scouts here. Sebastian is going to lose 2 scouts there. Big moments here against Sebastian. I think he may have been reacting in the back of his base, guys. So many things happening on this map. And I think he just got hit in too many places at once. Still really like Mihai's position. To me, it feels like he's just got more archers than his opponent. He's got 5 more. And now running, losing his scouts. And now there will be no support for Matador. And Matador could be jumped on. Great micro from Matador to get out of this, though. But the scouts have upgrades now from Sebastian. And Sebastian will continue to take the fight. What a game. What a series. This is crazy. Like, this map is so multitasking oriented. It's insane. No farms at all from Matador. Look at the farming eco for Mihai. And it's cheap for Mihai to go to Castle Age. Like, Mihai is the key. He's the key? Huh? Never mind. Anyways, he's playing really smooth right now. He's outplayed Matador on this side. I'd say on the other side, Margugu and Ozone have been pretty much on par with each other. No real crazy differences from what I can see. And, you know, maybe you could compare running and Sebastian a little bit. Well, Sebastian's got 14 fishing ships. You absolutely can. Sebastian's in a much better position there. 14! And they just kind of realized they will have it's so much more difficult for the opponent to threaten their fish. I think the logic of docking the middle is it's easier for you to protect your teammates' fish because you're all together. Margugu still defending. And Sebastian here in support of Mihai. See, when you recognize that you are in a better position than your opponent, why take the risk and move out, right? So that's the thinking now. They don't want to take that risk. And, oh, man, Matador needed the damage. And so here he is, hoping to get that damage, and it's going to be a full clear. He can't escape. Sebastian's got so much army. Running doesn't have the numbers here. And a beautiful cleanup for Team Fox. Great patience. And now you do have running on the way to Castle Age. Like, I'm thinking right now with how this is playing out, they need running with a big early army advantage. 3 stables. He won't try and boom. He is Persians. Honestly, he's going to need to kill these archers for Mihai. Because I don't know how Matador is going to be able to survive that. Margugu's on the way as well. Faster than Ozone. Again, still fishing on the outside. Lots of villagers there too. Fishing looking so good for Team Fox. What a series. It's going to be 3 stables from Ozone 2. Crazy army coming. And that's what they need. They need crazy army at this point. Because they're behind economically. Matador's stabilized a little bit. But like, with the way he's walled this map and the way this map is so open like this, I don't know what to suggest to him right now, except to run. Yeah, leave these wood lines. Get over to this wood line. He doesn't have an army to compete. He's going to need that support. Just repairs here from Margugu. Margugu will hit Castle Age, and then Ozone will have to run. The crossbows get through for Mihai. If you see someone build this extra house here, you know they have no army at home, by the way. Or at least they don't have the confidence to deal with you. You're just like, oh, okay. Because they're scared of you diving there. We're not going to see the dive. Crossbows from Mihai come over to support Margugu. And Light Cav's on the way, and Ozone needs to get out of here. Ozone needs to get out. I'm really confused right now. I think he's looking here. Yeah, must be reacting like anywhere else, right? There's so many different things happening. And now we need to wait for those knights from running. He is Persians. The Persian eco could carry. But he doesn't have the fish. Look at the fishing ships from Sebastian. He's got 28 of them. Every time I look over there, the number's just getting higher and higher and higher. He just won't stop. And who needs a second TC when you can spam fish like that? Well, he does. He's going to do it anyways. Engagement before upgrades for Matador. He's about to get them. Yeah, he's still able to get the kills and contribute. Nice clear. That's a really nice clear. And now, like, maybe the archer count's a little closer between Matador and Mihai, so maybe that's fine. But look at Margugu's Light Cav numbers. I mean, holy. Ozone's got them too. It's actually, I'm beginning to see right now why players don't want to go for foot archer civs. Because it seems like they're able to afford so much cav with all the food eco. And you're just going to get run down. Well, here come the light cav. Imagine having to deal with this while also having to support your teammate on the other side. 72 eco for Sebastian. The previous game angered him. You take me out in feudal age, you pay the price. Really clean game. And this is up against Persians, right? Persians, Dravidians, Japanese all feel so good in these situations. Oh, man. Great coordination again. Mihai here waiting with his team. And it's like every time that Ozone, Matador, and Running advance, they just meet a stronger army. Now we've got Cav Archers, too. So they're trying. They've done a great job to hold on here. At what point can they finally find a good fight? Find a moment. Find an opening to do real damage? It's looking very unlikely. And Condor and Eagelos. We're so close to winning that other game on Nile. And it's come down to game number 5, and it's looking pretty grim. The only thing I'll say is that like, at least they can mix in some camels. Camels could be good because there's a lot of knights on the other side, but there's a lot of foot archers too. And that's where camels don't really help. Love the Cav Archer switch from Margugu. I'm liking the Hun's choice too. It makes sense now. Scouts, CA, kind of either one. We do have some demos for Matador. Just lurking in the shadows here. It's almost like he's waiting for someone to commit. They don't want to commit. Those crossbows got to get out of there. Demos? Ooh, they can't get in close enough. Massive engagement. It's actually pretty close. This is their chance back into the game. If they can take this hill away from Margugu, they could maybe do this. Running's got crazy army right now. And this is all next to Margugu's base. Like, Margugu losing this gold, for example, would mean he might not be able to make any more army. Again, like, with all the odds stacked against this team, they just continue to stick around. It's impressive. I'd love to see them recognize where the gold from Margugu is, though. Oh, man, I guess it's hard to think about it. But, geez, like, a little bit of army here would be so good. But then you have to leave the hill. And there's going to be more army coming in for the opponents. You can't really leave the hill. The hill gives you your best chance of success in these fights. 50 eco, roughly, on average, for every single player on this team. Whereas for Fox, we've got almost 100 eco for Sebastian, 65 for Margugu, and 63 for Mihai. And Mihai's Italian, so he might actually be able to imp at some point here. Now, the fish do get less efficient over time on normal maps, but on this map, because you can dock, like, out on the water, fishing is so much stronger. And, oh, we got a raid here. A big raid. It denied the TC. It killed some villagers running off of gold because of that. And I think we're waiting for one finishing blow. Sebastian's been massing a big group of knights. Big enough where they could potentially consider taking the fights. He's going to have full Castle Age upgrades. He's going to have 30 of them. He's going to try and force the issue here. But still a little bit of patience needed. Don't want to force the issue. Matador, 39 eco. Got destroyed on the wood line a second ago. Because they can afford that. Like, Mihai can justify not sending all of his army here right now. And so he wisely hits Matador with it. Sebastian's just like, I don't have enough knights yet. I also find it so funny how he uses box formation. Like, when you get large numbers, using box formation isn't that helpful, but he just clicks it out of habit. Also very proud that I brought that up during Hidden Cup, and now that's a thing now. With him, and like MBL does it too. Okay, here we go. Big fight, and oh, dude, there's just so much HP here. Between the Cav Archers and the Knights, there's too much horse. And I think this win will send Fox to the second round in the winner's bracket. But I think also this will hopefully give some confidence to Condors and Eagelos. They played a great series here. They're still alive because it's double elim. And I think there's some things to learn from this series that they can take into the next. I'm excited to watch them again. A beautiful series. I mean, one of the best sets so far in the tournament, having said that we only had like 4 or 5 in total. But Fox, the favorites, get the job done. I think the key here, if I were to simplify it, I'd say the builds for Matador running an Ozone was all about as much army early as possible. And then the builds for Fox was about surviving the early game and then dominating in mid-feudal and beyond, right? I also think a key moment in the game was when Mihai and Matador had their little base trade. Mihai recognized if I move out with my army, I might need a tower at home. And then there was no tower at home for Matador, and Matador got pushed off of gold. So, oh God, Capture Age. Sorry, it's actually not Capture Age's fault. That's my fault. Fox wins 3-2. But I mean, you look back at some of the other games that Condors and Eagelos lost. There's some tweaks they could maybe make and some things to learn from. So Fox definitely has the more accomplished 1v1 players overall. But the team games, I mean, first off, running Ozone and Matador aren't that far behind in 1v1s. But also the team games, a lot about that practice, strategy, and coordination. Kind of unfortunate, maybe, to meet a team so well practiced compared to the others in the first round. Fox definitely has been putting the hours compared to some other teams. So, great series. There's, again, the KDs. The fights were just so smooth the whole way through there for Mihai. It really started for him with the early Archer engagements against Matador. But then I think when Sebastian was able to support him, Sebastian just booming like a madman. Like, this makes me think you need to take fish on the outside there. But if you need to take fish on the outside, then everyone takes fish on the outside, and then we might actually see Navy on the outside. You know, it's weird. Fox did a great job scouting to recognize there was no docks on the outside. Then they knew they could fish boom. And then they knew they needed to brace themselves because the uptimes for the opponent would be a little bit faster there. Yeah, GG, great series.